again, race fans, and welcome here on VirtualRacing.Network. It is so wonderful to be back here in the state of Florida, Homestead, Miami Speedway to be exact. We've been here for 2 nights in a row, and we're set for another fantastic night here again at this very unique and fun speedway that has progressive banking, lots of room for passing, and very high speeds. Hello again, everybody. I'm Trevor Greenfield, and tonight we, of course, welcome in the NORA Cup Series 2023 NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series, and once again, we are knee-deep in the playoffs. Just 2 more races remain in the round of 8 here in the playoffs. Tonight, it's going to be 48 laps in the first stage, 99 in the second, and 160 laps overall. And of course, tonight I'll be joined, as always, by none other than Christian Snyder, team owner here in the NORA Cup Series and legendary sim racer. Christian, welcome back to the broadcast, and as always, have we learned anything from the first 2 nights here at Homestead?
Yeah, I think we definitely learned a lot from the first 2 nights. The seams here at Homestead are absolutely treacherous. It was a problem in the Icon Cup Series. Less of a problem with the trucks, but we're back in the Cup cars here tonight. So I think we're going to have some more issues with those seams and seeing people get loose. And Vincent Arthur touched on it last night. From what I heard, he said that the Cup cars have a wider wheelbase, and that's the reason that they're having more issues with that seam than the trucks are. But it's going to be a little bit slick out there tonight. Probably a lot of loose cars. So we'll have to see if everyone's able to manage it and save their tires for the long run.
And that's really been the key, who can be there at the end with that extra little bit of tire to be able to utilize. Now you see Tom Senchek so far setting a fast time, going to the top of the charts for Late Apex Racing, and now here's his teammate on screen, Ryan Bird. And both of these drivers are championship playoff drivers that are looking to cement their times at the top of the charts. They've done so already, first and second fastest so far, but they don't yet have a win, so they are not officially going to be racing yet in Phoenix in 2 weeks' time. But Cody Height, he sets a great time there in 4th fastest. That is going to do his hopes well to get into Phoenix coming up very soon. Matthew George bringing that car actually out onto the speedway right now. Perhaps going to get a little bit of extra screen time as he heads out there. Vincent Arthur just about to head out there on the track. Brady Moats just finishing up his qualifying efforts. He's right now running in 13th place. And Jacob Malone out there at the moment as well. So Matthew George just now getting up to speed. We'll see what he can do out there, one of our championship contenders. Meanwhile, Christian, I was hoping you might take us around for our final attempt at a qualifying lap here at Homestead.
Yeah, we're going to hop on board with the guy who helped me out last night and took my spot up here, Vincent Arthur, going into turn 1. He's going to run that bottom lane. It's the fast way around the track. He kind of told me that last night after the race, that I should have been running the bottom instead of the top, but he's going to be quick here, so we'll have to see if he's able to get up into the pole. Doesn't quite get down to the bottom here through 3 and 4. He's going to run the middle there. Wonder if that's going to benefit him or hurt him. Here he comes, complete the lap. That's going to put him 4th. So I think running that middle lane is the reason that happened, as we still see his icon paint scheme there on his car.
Well,
Trading Paints absolutely loves you, man. I think
we were talking about this ahead of the broadcast. I have every box checked. I mean, the only thing I don't do is manually go in and delete every paint scheme before the race, but certainly every box is checked. Clean up downloaded files, clean up driver's paints. I don't know. It just hates me. I might have to reinstall it or something, but either way, all of that going on behind the scenes. Never mind that man behind the curtain. Top of the charts for Mr. Ronnie Norman. Yeah. How about that?
No surprise.
No surprise.
Last night he was the class of the field.
Absolutely, and Sunday night as well. And so Ronnie Norman showing the way here with Dustin Kleba, who also was the class of the field. But they're right now second place in the qualifying effort. Jacob Gladelich just bringing that machine down to, he'll be bringing that into the pits momentarily, having finished his qualifying effort there in 18th place. Cody Reeder just bringing his car up to speed, but he will not get in a qualifying effort. So 29 cars will be starting here tonight, which means we don't have much time to go over the starting lineup for tonight, but we will be talking about the points, and that is so crucial. So we take a look here at the driver points as they stand coming into tonight's race. Vincent Arthur atop the charts, but Dustin Kleba getting that win will cement him into the round of 4, the final 4 in Phoenix. Then Ronnie Norman in 3rd place. Ryan Bird still in these top 4 right now. But you see how close those points battles are a little bit further back. Tom Senchek still in this with a great finish last week. He's got a great chance with the next 2 races to be able to point his way into this, but may come at the expense of his teammate Ryan Bird. We'll have to see how these play out. Brady Motes still has a great chance. He's only 10 points back from Tom Senchek. Matthew George right behind Brady Motes. Cody Height really has his work cut out for him, and obviously anybody who doesn't already have a win, they are looking to get that win, which will automatically push them into Phoenix. And then a quick look at our owner points. We can get those on the screen. There we go. Owner points as they appear right now, with Kleba taking the win. That cements that team getting into the round of 4 in Phoenix. But there you can see the rest of the cars and how they are lined up for the owner points as we continue to track that battle as well. So with that, let's go over the starting positions for tonight's race here at Homestead Motor Speedway, Homestead Miami Speedway. As you can see, Ronnie Norman taking pole positions. Congratulations to him. 2nd place going to Dustin Kleba. 3rd to Tom Senchek. 4th going to Ryan Bird. And it's pretty amazing to see all of these drivers in the top 4 are championship drivers. On that 3rd row will be Timmy Harper and Vincent Arthur. The 4th row will be Cameron Thompson and Cody Height. Kyle Rochelle and Dakota Moniz will be 9th and 10th. 11th and 12th, Everett Couts and Josh Conover. Looking ahead in the grid, 13th, Justin Moody and Chad Engel will be starting alongside him. Jacob Malone and John Cottle in 15th and 16th. Matthew George next to Jacob Gladelich. And then Blade Timmons next to Jake Christenberry. 21st will be Brady Motes next to Dakota Hendrickson, Anthony Mackey, and Josh Curry. And then Alex Axman with Cody Reeder in 25th and 26th, Peyton Tullock in 27th, Blake Hoppy in 28th, and our final starter will be Gary Freeman Jr. in 29th place. But should be a lot of fun out here tonight. Looking forward to it, Christian. And, of course, we've got a huge field here. 29 cars going to be taking this start. We're ready to roll here in Homestead. The green flag is out. We're underway.
Yeah, and Dustin Kleba with a phenomenal start there. He's actually going to edge out a little bit ahead of Norman here through 1 and 2. You can see Vincent Arthur already ripping the fence here. He said he was going to make it interesting and try to rip the top as much as he could.
Arthur,
the bottom is going to save tires.
I mean, all the way up to 3rd in the span of 2 corners. This guy is Mr. Excitement right now. Here he goes, diving under Dustin Kleba. Kleba, of course, does not need that race win here at Homestead, but he would love to steal those points and get as many as possible. Here comes Arthur, though. He's looking to take over first place from Ronnie Norman.
Oh, Vincent got really sideways.
Arthur sideways. He's wrecking.
Oh, man.
The whole field taking evasive action, and somebody's going to plow right into him. And there someone else gets hit. I believe it's Peyton Tulloch, Anthony Mackie, perhaps. Gary Freeman Jr. slowing down. There's the 23 of Jake Christenberry.
And I think Chad Engel was the one that got into Vincent Arthur.
Indeed, that
he's
was
got
Chad.
Pretty big damage there on the front end.
Well, unfortunately, we were just talking about this great new paint scheme here, and he's getting some screen time, but for the wrong reasons. Let's go ahead, take it back, and I mean, we clearly know who this all starts with, and I know this is not at all what he had planned. Maybe if we back it up a little bit more, we can see from overhead exactly what this guy goes through. But Christian, he tried to hold it down low.
The seam. I think he crosses the seam right here. He does. Crosses the seam, gets a little bit loose, and then he just is on from there trying to save it. And then Chad Engel's trying to get by him on the outside, but you could see that he released the brakes there for a second, and it pulled him up the track a little bit more right into Chad's path. But man, that's not how Vincent wanted to start his night. But I mean, the good side of it, as long as he finishes this race, he should be basically locked in going into Martinsville. But obviously you want him to win to get in, but he's not going to be able to here tonight.
Yeah, definitely he's going to have his work cut out for him. Probably extensive repairs going to be needed. As we take a look now on Chad Engel's machine.
Oh, man. It came out of nowhere there. He had someone in front of him. He bumped them a little bit, moved them down, and then all he could see was smoke.
Yeah, and then unfortunately Cody Reeder, who had started at the back of the pack. Now last night he ran in second place, but here tonight it's
Oh man, again, nothing you could see except smoke.
Not at all. Jake Christenberry getting caught in that one as well, and I see that Anthony Mackie also getting caught up in this. This is what Christenberry saw.
Yeah, sometimes it actually benefits not having super good graphics, because I know for myself, I don't see that much smoke because my computer can't handle it that well, so I can see the cars a lot better on lower graphics whenever they're spinning, because I get less smoke. So some of these guys that have less graphics, they're like, how did you not see me? I mean, come on.
Well, certainly, and it's it is a trick to utilize some of those things to your advantage. Obviously, to get the most frames per second, you can turn that down, turn off the crowds, turn things down, and make it much higher frames per second, which can benefit you as a driver. There's all kinds of other stuff you can do. I know that turning down force feedback, at one point the recommended thing was to have practically no force feedback at all, because it just fights you from being able to turn the wheel. But of course that comes at the expense of realism. So certainly lots of tricks of the trade to be employed. I know some people also, it's been recently talked about, so I suppose I can talk about it. Some people map the clutch button or clutch to their button instead of using the clutch pedal, because it's actually faster on shifting, and if you want to clutch and coast through the corners, and you get 100% of the rev drop and the rev increase. So again, lots of tricks to know about. They're not necessarily against the rules. They're certainly within the rules, as it looks like Ronnie, one of the only drivers to take the high line there. But interesting stuff going on here in the very first couple of laps, and unfortunately that does take one of the race favorites close to out of the race. Vincent, is he a full lap down? Did he stay on the lead lap?
He's in front of the leader. Yeah, he's on the lead lap.
He is still on the lead lap, so fortunate for him. Now we're seeing Harper getting held up there.
He was just checking up so the pace car could get by, maybe? No?
Well, he's not showing a lap down.
There he goes.
Yeah, he just got kind of caught up somehow, out of position. But Timmy's shown in second place right now, so Tim gaining
good run for him.
And
you got to feel bad for him after last night. You know, he was in position to possibly make it to the next round of the playoffs, got taken out in a wreck, and ruined his chances, but he's still in the owners' playoffs, I believe, with that 12 car. So he's out here trying to do good here tonight as we're back under green here at Homestead, and we're already fanning out 3 wide. I believe that's Everett Cousin, the 77, going underneath, I believe, Timmons.
Oh my goodness, and 3 wide for the lead. Ronnie Norman, Dustin Kleba, Timmy Harper battling it out down the backstretch.
Looks like Norman's going to pull slightly ahead here. He's going to rip the fence here. Harper on the bottom. Harper's got a good run here. He might be able to clear him. He does.
Kleba and Thompson almost have it coming together. And by the way, in that replay, I didn't mention it, but Tom Semchek and Ryan Bird had a little coming together in that incident. Not sure if there was any damage sustained there, but here you can see Cameron Thompson fighting hard for third place. Dustin Kleba owning the outside. We've got some more problems in the back of this field, and I think
that
it's
was Chad Engel again, maybe?
We've got Blake Hoppy and Gary Freeman Jr. involved in this. But I think everything going again, and unfortunately, Jacob Gladelich is sitting in the pits right now, so I don't know if he just started. He must have started and parked, because I don't see that he took the start. Must have been just doing it for owner's points.
Yeah, he could be doing race control here tonight, possibly. A lot of these drivers will volunteer since they're not in the playoffs anymore. They'll say, hey, I'll be race control and I'll make the calls for the cautions and everything to help out. And we love whenever we get volunteers to race control, because Josh and Nick, you know, they can't do it all themselves.
Certainly not. Well, speaking of volunteering to go out there and do his best, Timmy Harper brings it every week. He always posts on his Facebook how excited he is for the week and about his championship hopes. If you're not following him on Facebook, I recommend it. It's always fun. And certainly over on Twitch, I don't know if he's streaming right now, but it's always Harper50 is his handle over on Twitch, so make sure to check that out. But always a class act here in Timmy Harper, and always a strong competitor. Right now he's just running owner's points for Harper Motorsports, but he's out there in front of Ronnie Norman and Dustin Kleba, 2 of our championship drivers.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. I mean, he was doing great last night and had a great truck, so it's no surprise that he's up here toward the front. He loves Homestead. It's one of his favorite tracks, so good to see him out front and getting a little redemption so far here from last night. But speaking of last night, Ronnie Norman had quite a few issues with his computer popping up throughout last night and caused him some issues. So hopefully he has those resolved. I did talk to him earlier today to see if he got those resolved, but we're not confirmed on that. But he thinks he might have fixed it. But Josh Conover, very loose off of turn 2. He's going to go down the whole way to the bottom. Still going straight though here, so that's a good thing for that Fightin' Phil's number 25.
Yeah, big problems for Ronnie Sunday night and here last night, and unfortunate because if everything had worked out, I mean, you could have seen Ronnie potentially take win Sunday night, last night, and here he is fighting for, I mean, he took pole position and he's fighting for it tonight. So super strong track here at Homestead for Ronnie Norman at a time when he really needs it. So he could use a race win for sure to get him into Phoenix. He's probably pretty assured that he'll get there, but again, anything can happen in the next 2 races. So looking a little bit further back there, Senchek making a move now down to the inside on Cameron Thompson. Speaking of trying to get as many points as possible, Senchek right outside of those points necessary to get to Phoenix. So he is doing everything he can to get it together and possibly go up there and challenge for a podium position, but he's still taking a look there on Cameron Thompson and trying to evaluate.
And Semchek's actually behind his teammate Ryan Bird for those points. So it's going to be one of those situations where I know we both want to make it, but only one of us can. So it's going to be a battle between those two guys here these next two weeks here.
There can only be 4. It's kind of like the Hunger Games, you know. At some point, I think Conover got in the wall again. He must be watching the Phillies game a little too hard.
He does not enjoy this track that much. He doesn't like it, and it's actually one of his worst statistic tracks within NORA, so he just wants this night to be over in that 25.
Well, and he's I think he's the only driver on the entire grid who carries with him in his cockpit. It's just out of frame there. He actually has a little 9-inch CRT television from the 80s that he keeps with him, and he watches his Phillies games right there as he's driving around the track. Adds a little bit of weight, but, you know, he's got to be able to keep track of what's going on in the game. So Conover doing his best to keep it together here right now, running in 13th place, of course, running 4 owners points, and that is so valuable for him to be able to try to get as many points out there as possible. Hey, big shout out to everybody joining us over on YouTube. Welcome to all of y'all. SVT88, everyone gets a Homestead stripe. Yes, sir. You can see those stripes up there against that wall. It did not happen by accident. Speaking of which, did you just see Cameron Thompson get his stripe? My goodness me, he was right up there next to that wall.
And more importantly, Ronnie Norman just took the lead off of Harper, and now Kleba's taking second off of Harper. So the battle is heated up here at front.
Absolutely. Storm and Ronnie Norman back to the lead. Harper still in this fight, but Kleba fighting hard down the backstretch. Kleba tucks back in behind Harper, and right now we may have a 3-way battle on our hands for first. Vladelich saying hello in our YouTube chat. Appreciate it. Steven Dombrowski, more like elbow deep boys, featuring the 2 best commentators in iRacing. It's always a good time. Hey, absolutely, and we always appreciate you, Steven, checking in. You've got your boy Ronnie Norman up there in the front. You got to give him some extra juju or whatever you can do from the fan side to keep him up there, because you got some hard chargers right now. Harper was already up there, but you see what happens when you get here a little early, Steven? You see, Ronnie Norman takes pole. He's up there running in front. You got to be here. You got to be here for the starts. I know you got to work, buddy. But here we go. Kleba able to safely take that position from Harper. And now he's running in second place. Tom Senchek in 4th place. So he has moved by Cameron Thompson. And now look how tight that racing is here from 4th on back.
Yeah, it's definitely tight up here, and it's good to see Cameron Thompson up here in the top 5. He's had an up and down season, mostly down, and lately he's been on an uptake with the finishes. So possibly showing these guys that, hey, I'm gonna try to be a contender next season and be in that top 8 and final 8.
Certainly, and he's with.
Oh man. Vladelich almost got into Norman there. Vladelich came back out, and he's a lap down. He's right there underneath Norman. Whew, that was close.
Definitely scary stuff as Norman manages to get control back and safely get by Vladelich. But, yeah, always scary. You know, lap traffic is always something to deal with. It's not something that it doesn't get a lot of glory when you're thinking of making all those passes out there on the track, but safely navigating that lap traffic is just as important as going out there and passing people going up the grid.
Yeah, lap traffic has been so key this season. Whoever gets through it the best is definitely in the best position, but now we see Harper and Senchek battling to get by Vladelich here, and you can see Vladelich not running the very bottom, running about a lane up from the bottom, so these guys have to get higher than what they want because the inside is probably the preferred line right now, I would say.
Yeah, definitely it's starting to show that inside line is where it's at. But as this track rubbers up more, we know that it changes, that progressive banking coming into effect. We've got, I think Cameron Thompson perhaps having it. Oh, he's come into the pits.
This is an interesting call. I mean, the stage is 48 laps, and he's pitting at exactly halfway, so maybe he thinks that can't make it on fuel, so going to come in and pit halfway through the stage. So we'll have to see if he comes back out pretty quickly, or if that's going to be the end of the night for him.
Well, either he's making an extremely smart strategy call, or he's going to be one of the only people coming in. Oh, now Conover is bringing it in. Vincent Arthur going to bring it in. So perhaps there's something we don't know about that fuel mileage situation, and Cameron Thompson may be the harbinger of what is yet to come for some of these drivers potentially running out of fuel at the end of that first stage.
Well, I know I was told before the race that it's about 48 laps on fuel, and that's if you save, and 40 laps on fuel is what they said, and that's if you save. So it's going to be pretty close getting to the stage at 48. So these guys, unless they pit under that last caution to top off, they're not going to be able to make it. So this is exactly in half, and a lot of these guys probably going to take fuel only or right sides only.
I think we had a moment here coming into the pits with Cottle.
Oh man.
Oh. Is
that Kyle Larson or is that John Cottle? I couldn't tell.
Oh, that is unfortunate, Christian.
It is.
It happens in real life, obviously, but boy, it is so sad when that happens. You're doing everything right, and you just get it a little wrong coming into the pits, and oh my. And there's going to be some substantial damage on Cottle's machine.
Yeah, he's more than likely going to take that behind the wall, and yeah, he's out. He's in the garage area. He's heading to the hauler and his mobile home, and he's going to go home.
Well, some nights it ends on lap 28. Some nights you're playing with a podium position up there towards the front. Wow, somebody just got really loose back there in the background. I want to say that was Kyle Rochelle.
Yeah, it was definitely Rochelle, and yeah, you're right. So, some nights it does end on 28, but some nights it ends in a bar down the street at 3 in the morning, you know?
Yes, sir, and your voice is hoarse, and you're just in a glow where everything has been your kind of day. And you never know when that day is going to be, so you just keep fighting and fighting and fighting. You never know. It may not be your stage, but it may be your night overall. You see Kyle Rochelle back there riding that wall up there. I mean, you didn't know Talladega was going to be your night. Shoot, you didn't even know until after the race.
No, yeah, I didn't know until after the race, but I did party on the boulevard all night. I don't remember much of it.
Oh my goodness me! There are videos, but we'll just keep those between us. Ronnie Norman, though, is trying to do what he needs to do to get the first stage and the maximum amount of points. Dustin Kleba for KPR Motorsports is trying to make it 2 in a row here, taking victory, and I guess that would be 3 in a row if you count last night. So, I mean, this is some pretty serious stuff that Dustin Kleba's been able to lay down. But at the same time, Ronnie Norman has kind of been the class of Homestead all 3 of the last nights here at Homestead.
Yeah, and he's a former winner here at Homestead. He's always been good here. He won for me back in 2019 here at Homestead, and I believe the Xfinity cars at the time. So he definitely has a great feel for this track, and he messaged me last night and he said that was the best I've ever felt at Homestead, and for my screen to go out on me was just terrible. It was the worst possible case for him. So good rebound here so far tonight, and hopefully we don't see that black screen pop up. But Peyton Tulloch pops into the top 10, him and Christenberry, and as well as Moody into the top 10. They still haven't pit though, so once this all cycles out, I believe the leader should be Tim Harper.
Well, Christenberry's right down there at that line that you were talking about, Christian. But over in our YouTube chat, hello to Megan Beadle, number 23 on the racetrack, but number 1 in our hearts. The Christenberry fan club is here. Well, maybe tonight will be the night for Mr. Christenberry. We know he's looking for that initial elusive race win for himself and Prestige TRD here. But he pulls it into the pits for his stop. And certainly, Stephen Dombrowski, appreciate you. Please share those videos of Christian celebrating probably gold. No, I think what stays in Talladega, or what happens in Talladega stays in Talladega as far as we're concerned, but we appreciate it. Use your imagination. Christian stumbling around the streets of Alabama.
With a lot of gnomes in tow as well.
It's an entire posse of gnomes, and the number of places that they went in and out of, we can't even talk about it on the air. It's not safe for families. Here we go. Ronnie Norman still staying in front by the slimmest of margins over Dustin Kleba. Will he be able to hang on and take the stage win? This is an exciting battle happening right here. You see Josh Conover in the background. He's actually down a lap at the moment. Matthew George bringing it in for that first stop. So another one of our playoff challengers bringing it in right now. But I find it fascinating, these different hitting strategies that are going on. I mean, we'll have to see how all this plays out. Certainly some drivers going for that first stage, some drivers going for the second stage. We'll have to see how it all works out for everybody. But right now, Ronnie Norman on pace alone seems like even if he's put back into 10th place, he might be able to shred through this field.
Yeah, if he's going to have to pit here very soon, I would say by lap 41, 42, we should see that 33 come into the pits. But he's probably going to take fuel only whenever he does bring that car in, as well as Kleba, Senchek, Bird, Moats, Rochelle, more than likely, all going to take fuel only. That way they don't lose too many spots here. But this call is basically hoping for a caution and remaining up front. But I don't see a caution happening. Knock on wood, you know. I think Norman and Kleba are going to have to do their green flag stops here before the stage.
Stephen Dombrowski checking in yet again with all the gnomes. So many tattoos, probably. Well, I'm neither going to confirm nor deny that, but at the same time, let me put it to you this way. As Dustin Kleba going to work under Ronnie Norman here, he is going to take that position. No, he's
momentarily.
Not. Momentarily, that run off of the corner gets Ronnie that position back, and now Kyle Rochelle 3.5 seconds back shown as the third place car out there. Brady Moats, who's still in this championship back there in fourth. I was just going to say, if Christian comes out here and races full-time next season and takes the championship, I will get a tattoo of a gnome. And it'll say,
oh my,
it'll say Snyder Graphics on it.
Oh, that's extra motivation now.
Or Full Send Motorsports. It's up to him. Whatever he wants. Either one of those that he wants it to say.
Oh man, that's extra motivation now.
Yes, sir.
I gotta go out and win it.
Yes, sir. You're paying for it, though.
Oh.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Well, Ronnie Norman hanging on to that lead. Dustin Kleba, with all this lap traffic, getting kind of caught out here. There's Everett Couts just in front. Chad Ingle. This is going to play havoc here as they try to get to the stage. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, lap traffic is absolutely horrendous here at Homestead. There's 4 different lanes that you could run through the corner. And these lappers always run your lane, and you have to go somewhere else. You can see Chad trying to run the top like Norman is. He's going to come down now.
Oh, no. Oh, let's be careful out here, everybody. I can't believe how much lap traffic is playing a role right now.
Yeah, if I'm Chad, I'm just like, hey, you know what? I don't need to get my lap back. I'm gonna get the lucky dog and let you guys race. But he's still trying to get it. He's trying to get by them. think he's actually 2 laps down, so he does need to pass Ronnie here so that he doesn't get caught 2 down.
Well, interestingly, as we see, I believe that's Adam Kulikowski gets up into the wall there. Oh, and Ronnie is going to pit.
Oh, no, Ronnie!
Not into the barrels, although... Oh my goodness me, that was Alex Axman who tagged the barrels, and now there's some pieces hanging off of that car. You better let the gnomes know they need to back a fender there.
Man. We're gonna have to sell those parts at auto parts for less. They're gonna be at a discount for sure.
You heard it right here. If you need some extra parts for your NASCAR Next Gen machine and you're not looking for anything, you know, that is still in the correct shape, you know, contact Volkswagen Motorsports. They've got some backup parts that you might be interested in. Dustin Kleba, he's going to make that pit stop. Now, the interesting thing is that Peyton Tulloch actually came in on that initial caution, and this is why those early cautions really have some meaning, because he came in, as did Blake Hoppe for Evil Empire Motorsports. They both came in on that initial caution, and as a result, I'm wondering if they are going to make it to the end of the first stage.
Yeah, if they're able to clutch the car, maybe turn off the engine, I definitely think they can make it. But I think the last pit stop was around lap 5 or 6, so that's got to stretch it to 42, and that's a long way on a 40-lap tank.
Well, it says they came in on 3 and 4, and so I think they went back green on lap 5.
Yeah, so that's going to be too far, unless these guys are shutting the engine off every corner for the past 20 laps. But here you see Tulloch's going to come in. He doesn't have enough. We'll see if Blake Hoppe comes in this lap, but Tim Harper going to be the leader momentarily whenever everyone cycles through. But now it's Couts. He had a huge run on the outside. No?
Well,
where is he?
Couts came in on 28. Wow, listen to how long Blake is out of that gas for. He is completely clutching and coasting, but he's got to save a lot of fuel to make it another 3 more laps. Couts is 6 seconds back right now.
Yeah, he's, I think, battling side by side with Harper for what would be the lead if Blake goes into the pits here. Here he goes, Harper to the bottom.
Well,
this is for the lead here.
It's at least for second and third, and this is legit because they did come in on lap 28 and 25 respectively. Harper challenging on that front straightaway, unable to take that position. So this undercut strategy really did work out.
Yeah, I tell you what, Conover's got to get by these two because if Blake Hoppe comes in, he'll be able to get his lap back. But right now, he has scored 1 lap down. He'll be in the lucky dog position. But clearly, some trouble for Conover on those pit stops put him 1 extra lap back. But it looks like Everett Kout's going to pull away from Harper. But here comes Kleba catching up to Conover. Can he run them down? I don't think so, as the white flag is out in the stage here. Blake Hoppe still hasn't pit, so
Hoppe's still out there clutching and coasting, but he's got a 5-second gap. So, I mean, he's well clear of the entry before he's already out of that gas. But Sherwin Williams looking good on that machine. Is he going to be able to hold on? I think he will. He can coast from here. He's going to take the first stage. Now, of course, he's still got to get into the pits on the caution. So
yeah,
that could be, he may have to tow in, but at least he took the first stage victory.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. He's going to have to get the whole way back around, not only this lap, but then the pace lap, then bring it into pit road and get that fuel in. So he's got to have his engine off for this entire cooldown lap. Then the entire pace lap, he's going to have to clutch it in order to be able to make it and get some fuel into that machine without getting a black flag. But if he pits here, he'll get a black flag.
Oh boy. Well, he's not going to bring it in. It sounds like he's still got some power under there. He's still accelerating. He does have to make it around to the pace truck. But while we're under caution here, perfect chance for me to bring up, if you're watching, you're not already subscribed, hey, it's perfect time to get subscribed. So much more exciting racing to come here on VirtualRacing.Network. We're just getting down to the very end of the playoffs for the Icon Cup Series, the NORA Truck Series, and the NORA Cup Series. And besides that, you get to chat with us here in the YouTube chat room. So why not? So much good stuff to come. And then, of course, we'll have our off-season, lots more racing, including the coverage of the BRB Racing League. That's coming up. And by the way, also, if you're near that like button, feel free to click that. It gets it out there to more and more of those people in the YouTubeosphere and lets them know this is the type of cool iRacing stuff that, you know, it's fun to watch on Tuesday night. So here we go. Everybody brings it in to the pits. Blake Hoppy, he made it. Christian, this is totally legit. Congratulations to Blake Hoppy.
Yeah, that's a shocker that he was able to make it the whole way back around. I mean, he did a phenomenal job at saving. We'll have to see if he's able to hold it in stage 2. We're gonna see Kleba probably. Oh, he actually slid through the box. Kleba having some issues in pit road there. I think Harper's gonna end up beating Kleba out of the pits here. Yeah, the left side still aren't up. There they go. Harper away.
Quite a few, I bet, are going to beat him out.
Oh, man. Even Blade Timmons. Blade top 3 last night. Now he's in 4th here tonight.
Well, certainly, let's see if we can talk with Blake Hoppy and get a quick interview with him.
Let me find him here.
He's in Flatline.
Ah, yes, he is. There he is. We got him.
Hey, Blake Hoppy, this is Trevor Greenfield, Christian Snyder up here in the booth. You got us?
What's going on, boys?
Well, what's going on for yourself, my friend? Congratulations taking your first ever stage victory there. That looked pretty awesome, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty exciting. Trying to save fuel there. Just figured I'd try to pin as many cars as I can a lap down there, so...
And you did. Very timely caution allowed you to come in or actually you came in there on the 28 lap, so you took advantage of the early opportunity to get in on that fuel window. But other than that, how's the car feeling out there? I mean, we know the clutch and coast works, but are you feeling that looseness that some of the other drivers been feeling out there? Has it been feeling pretty good to you tonight? What are you experiencing?
Yeah, I think they were saying the track temp went up like 15 degrees from qualifying to race temp even, so it's slick off the corner. I think if you can save tires on a long run here and maybe save some fuel at the same time, you're sitting in a good position.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit on the tracks. It's definitely gone up a bit. A little bit of a breeze for you out there. What do you think it's going to take to be able to keep these guys behind you? You got, you're on the same strat as them and everything. What's it going to take to be able to not only get another stage, but take the race victory tonight?
I think we're looking at some patience. I think that whole staying out right there was just to get some track position for me, and hopefully we can keep it now.
Well, beautiful job so far, and hopefully we'll get a chance to chat with you at the end of this race on the podium, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Have fun up there.
We will do so. Thank you. So that is Blake Hoppy at Evil Empire Motorsports. He's racing for owner points right now, and fabulous job of utilizing the undercut strategy. And Christian, we don't always see that undercut strategy work out so beautifully, but for Hoppy, it worked fantastically that time.
Yeah, it definitely did, and I tried it last night, and I went way too early, and it didn't work out for me, but these guys kind of perfected it here tonight. Everett, Hoppy, I believe Harper also did, so those three kind of pitted at the right time to kind of flip the field and get up here. Ronnie Norman, who we saw dominating most part of the early run, he's clear back in 8th place now, so we'll have to see him come through the field now.
Well, and Blade Timmons, who raced very well last night, up there into 2nd place at the moment. Dustin Kleba up there. Funny how these same names come out here between the trucks and the cup cars and are able to race very, very well. Not really a surprise, but it's interesting to see it happen consecutive nights. Here we go. Everett Kout's going to lead the JRC Sim Team number 77 Chevy. Back to the green flag. Barney Flagman waves it. We are underway again here at Homestead. Great jump, though, for Couts on that outside line.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal start there. Blade Timmons kind of sleeping on the bottom, but now he's got Kleba looking to his outside. He's going to jump up there. Kleba got a little bit loose, but Everett Couts in that 77 pulling away there. We see Blake Hoppy. He's falling back through the field a little bit. He's back to 4th now. And then side by side, Bird and Rochelle teammates there for late apex, but Cameron Thompson, he's looking to the outside of Tim Harper here possibly.
Yeah,
good run for him right off that corner.
Tim getting a good run on Blake Hoppy now. Just that quickly, Blake Hoppy back to 5th place. So going 2nd to 5th on the restart, not exactly the direction that he'd want to go. But again, maybe he knows something about saving these tires, and the way that temperature's come up, that might be, I was talking about patience, that might be part of the recipe, just managing the tires, not driving the new off of them too soon.
Yeah, you're going to have patience again this stage because we're not having a caution until lap 99 for that next stage. So it's a long way from here. So you got to save some fuel. You got to pit at the right time again. So we'll have to see when everyone decides to pit in this stage. I would probably say anywhere around lap 75 probably. We'll see a lot of guys come in.
I think maybe they're going to take that card out of what worked for Blake Hoppy and Tim Harper's book. We'll have to see, but certainly, Christian, it pays to listen to these broadcasts. You get up on all the information, and certainly we are tracking what everybody's strategy is. Here we have what lap everybody pits on. Oh, Cameron on camera.
On the seam.
Christian calls it.
He didn't have the broadcast up, so he didn't know about the seams. So he's gonna go around on that one.
And
but no caution,
not bring out the yellow.
Which was something I was really impressed with last night. No cautions other than the stages. I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, certainly if there's something that iRacing needs to look at, it's however they have the caution triggering set at Homestead, because practically no cautions thrown. Now, I don't know, maybe that's it would be a problem in certain circumstances, but it was such a relief that cars were able to spin out and not cause a caution. Here's Kleba, though. He's under Couch for the lead on lap number 58. Kleba, championship driver. He's already punched his ticket to Phoenix, but here he is taking over the lead from Everett Couch. And I wonder if he's going to slide up, take that position. He does indeed.
Yeah. Everett, I've been watching him and throughout the season. He's been getting better and better and running up front, but the issue that he has is he runs the tires a little too hard. And you usually see him start dropping back pretty early in the run. He's been qualifying up toward the front, running great, but then once the tire saving guys come up, he just falls like a rock. So he's in that same boat as me. I don't know what I got to do different to save tires. I got that short run speed though, and he definitely has it.
So I think Tom Senchek back there got a little sideways.
A little? He was pointing toward the inside wall there for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of scary there for a minute, but it was definitely a brown pants moment, brown seat moment, but got it back together and currently pointing in the right direction. How many times have we seen these cars get a little loose, touch the seam, get a little loose? You'd think they'd get it by now. Just do not touch that seam. Do whatever you got to do. Take your foot out of the throttle. Just make sure you are not driving across that seam on exit, because it's a very high likelihood it will send you around.
Trevor, I talked about it all night Sunday, and I went out on the track Monday night, ended up crossing a seam, getting loose in front of the entire field, almost brought out a caution. So I didn't even listen to my own advice. So I did a great job crossing the seam.
I guess we can't be upset with anybody else if they do the same. Vincent Arthur back here in 13th place. let's go ahead and now that Dustin Kleba has set the fastest lap of the race, let's walk through where your playoff contenders are at the moment. Dustin Kleba currently running in the top spot. He started in second, took over the lead, and he's been flirting with that top position all night long. But here he is officially after taking that position from Everett Couts. Moving back to
Ryan
sixth
Bird
place.
is sixth here.
Yeah,
Ryan Bird. He's having a good run lately. He won those 2 road courses as he's under fire there from Cody Height, another playoff driver. But he's looking to win one of those ovals. And Cody Height, he's looking to just win. He hasn't won here in the Cup Series, but he is looking for that first win in the Cup, like he backed it up in the Truck Series at, I believe, a road course.
Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, Mid-Ohio. I always forget the name of that track, but as we go back on the field, I think Ronnie Norman back in 9th, you want to talk about him real quick, do a little rundown here?
Well, it's like, who would name a track Mid-Ohio? It's like the least romantic name for a racetrack ever. But certainly Cody Height, he honestly needs the W more than anybody else who's in the playoff chances. He's the furthest back. He needs the most amount of points for sure. Here's Ryan Bird, as you mentioned, currently running there in 7th place. And then Ronnie Norman, he's been the class of Homestead just on outright speed, taking pole position. But as a result of those technical gremlins, he has not been able to capitalize. And here tonight is his best opportunity, currently running in that 9th spot in that pink, black, and blue FanDuel paint scheme. And then there's Tom Senchek here in 10th place for Late Apex Racing. He too is outside. And there you see all 4, or actually all 3 of the Late Apex drivers running right next to one another. Tom Senchek needs those points just as bad as Ryan Bird, if not more, because Bird is ahead of him in the championship. Matthew George in 11th place right now. He's also fighting to get in. Needs as many points as possible. Perhaps here in the second stage, he'll be able to get up there and try and get himself a podium in this stage, but he's going to have to do it from a ways back right now in that 11th spot. Vincent Arthur here in 13th place in that Pepsi paint scheme. He's been lucky. He's been good. He's taken race wins. But right now, he's all the way back in 13th after that initial half spin. What was it, lap 1, lap 2? Couldn't believe it. But
yeah, lap 1 coming out of the corner just goes around, crossing the seam. I was surprised by it. I talked about it just now. Like, I went out and did it on Monday, even after talking about it Sunday. And he was talking about it all night last night. And he goes out and does it here tonight. So even the drivers that know about the seam still cross it, and it catches everyone off guard. These tires, they just cross it and it goes around. But Brady Moats, he's the furthest back of the playoff guys. He's struggling so far with that car there. The 15 seems like he's very loose. He's running the top there through 1 and 2. He's running the top here in 3 and 4, and that's killer on the tires. So he'll have to try to figure something out, maybe pull some strategy to get up there, because he's another one of those guys that pretty much might need a win in order to make it to that Final Four. We obviously have Kleba and Vincent pretty much already locked in, so that's only 2 spots on points that these guys have to get, or either that, go out and beat these guys and win.
Yeah, certainly we'll know after this race who is going to need that win in Martinsville. But it doesn't hurt. I mean, but Brady has been known to take a little bit of gambles, as he's now having to work under Jake Christenberry, who looks like he's trying to run that top line, and it's just not working for you. And unfortunately for some of these drivers, it is not second nature to go up there and rip the top, but you try it, it works, you're like, hey, this is awesome. And even Vincent was talking about it last night. He's like, this is awesome, but I am only an inch away from hitting that wall, and it's so easy to just go up there and put the car into the wall.
Yeah, he was talking about some type of grip strip that iRacing added. I was not able to find it. I never was able to touch it, so I don't know where it is, or if it is imaginary. I don't know if Vincent maybe made it up, but I could never find it. I mean, the top is so much fun to run whenever you're that close to putting the car or truck into the wall. It's kind of a thrill, and you get a lot of speed from it. Whenever Vincent told me that I ran as fast as Brian Jones did one lap, I was like, what? But yeah, the outside really does work here at Homestead. But like he said, you can only use it maybe 1 or 2 times in a run, but you got to time it perfectly and just rip the fence around a couple cars. Like you see here, looks like that's Norman ripping the fence up here. He might get a good enough run to pass 2 or 3 cars.
Oh my, quite a gaggle here. Is Ryan Bird now going to make his way underneath Cody Height? Height had just taken that position. Height up into the wall momentarily. Can he keep it off the wall? Yes, he can, but here comes Harper. He's going to get accordioned a little bit, and Tom Senchek going to have to slow down a little bit. Ronnie Norman going to do the same thing, as now everything's starting to settle down, but Kyle Rochelle coming out ahead in that one, up into 5th place.
You can see Ronnie Norman now peeking underneath here, it looks like, of Cody Height. So those two battling for some points here coming to the stage 2. Which, speaking of which, we could be seeing pit stops here any moment. Looking through the field, no one has decided to come in yet, but we're at that moment where you can make it to the end of the stage easily. So we'll see when people can get that car down there and do this undercut strategy that happened last time. As we see Hoppy, he's kind of dealing with Rochelle and Bird behind him. They're side by side here. Bird goes down to the bottom. Here comes Norman up on the top, trying to make it 3 wide if he can get a good enough run on the exit.
Yeah, certainly.
Here he comes.
You know, we don't talk about Bird as much right now, but he has been a hot spot this season. He's caught fire at multiple different points. There's a reason why he's in yellow right
caution.
now. We do have a
there
caution.
It is, right here. That is the 55, Gary Freeman Jr.
Well, Freeman stopped on track. And
from the position that he's in, it looks like he was trying to come off a pit road, got loose, and went into the wall, is what I'm going to guess happened here. We'll have to see. But that position is just very weird for an accident to happen. As now we see him, he's on track. See if maybe he crosses a seam and goes around.
He's getting loose mid-groove there, and then just tank slaps.
Collects his teammate there, Alex Axman, as well.
Fortunately, not anybody else, but let's back it up and take one more look here, as he's coming all the way through the corner.
This is his second start here in NORA, and I was kind enough to give those two guys a ride. This is Alex Axman's debut here tonight in that 4. These guys came over from GT3, so they're not very familiar with these next-gen cars. They're a lot heavier than those GT3, so whenever they get loose, a lot harder to catch.
You know, I wanted to take a look at this because we're so used to talking about the seam on the top side, like the second seam, but look at this. Does he cross that bottom seam there for a second, and is that what upsets the car coming through the corner?
I think he was just barely above it. I think he just pit and had cold tires. So I think that's the reason that he got so loose, is the tires weren't up to temps yet, and whenever they're so cold like that, it's like you're driving on ice. So you gotta kind of baby the throttle for 2 laps until you get the tires underneath you. But we see pit stops happening here. Blade Timmons gonna come out first, possibly a fuel-only stop there for him. Everett Couch second. Vincent Arthur here.
Fuel only for the top 3 drivers, but Kleba taking
I like
4
that call.
tires.
I like the call to take fuel only here. That saves you a set of tires late in the race if a caution happens. And, you know, tires are so important here. You feel like Superman whenever you have new tires going past everybody. So if they're able to catch a caution late and have an extra set of tires, it could very well win them the race.
That could be the move of the race right there. We'll have to see if that's exactly the way that it plays out. But, you know, for Freeman, I noticed that he was missing that right front fender, and I know where he can get a very lightly used right front fender.
Yeah, his teammate has a great sponsor where he can go to their website and get a right front fender.
There you go.
Yeah. There it is. Autopartsforless.com. Hit him up.
Yes, sir. We do our best to get the word out.
I would love for this to be an actual sponsor for the team. I got to message them.
Yeah. Look at this screen time that they're getting.
Yeah.
And he's leading the field now. Of course, he is the lucky dog here.
Yeah.
But
that car is not looking pretty.
Well, no, but it's still all in one piece.
It is. There's still 4 tires on it.
Gnomes did a good job of getting that right front fender on there. They're not really strong enough to pound in that hood. You can see the...
Yeah, I think it was Dale Earnhardt who said, as long as it has 4 tires, an engine, and a steering wheel, I'm going out there.
Well, and that's
I remember him flipping over at Daytona, and still he drove it off. He said, you know what? I don't care if the roof's bent. I'm going.
A little different strategy there from a couple of
you know what? Alex got into the wall, so he's not going to get the lucky dog, so he's going to have to go to the rear of the field. So that's what that was.
Ah, okay. That explains that. Everybody else doing the choose cone. Everett Couch, Blade Timmons, Vincent Arthur back up into the top 4 right now.
I tell you what, Vincent, man, he's he's determined to get a good finish here. And even with that rear end damage, he says, I'm not going to let that affect me. It could be one of those circumstances when you get that damage and it helps you in a way, makes you a little bit tighter. Maybe that happened for him here. Ronnie Norman back up here. He's in 6th. He was in 8th or 9th that last run. Josh Conover back up here, got his lucky dog. He's back up here in the top 5.
Well, we're about to go back to green here. Green flag in the air. Barney's hands waving it, and we're ready to go. Great run there for Vincent Arthur. He pulls all the way up into 2nd on that restart. Kaliba's right there to try to take advantage. Ronnie just loves that high side. Is he going to try to put it into the gap? He does. Vincent, not so fortunate.
I don't think anyone can run the top as good as that number 33 can. I mean, he puts it right up against the fence. Kind of the Kyle Larson of the league. He just puts it right up there, inches away from the wall, and gets the best runs.
Rochelle just slid right up in front of Arthur. I don't know if that... I don't think they made contact, but my goodness, he was not far away. I saw Conover come down, touch the apron as well. That was a little scary.
Got into Matthew George. I think he got a little loose, crossed the seam possibly, got loose, came down into Matthew George, and that's going to allow Moniz and Christenberry to catch up. But Blade Timmons out front, he's got Kleba looking low here into turn 1. Let's see if he's able to make it stick. I think he will. Blade's going to come down and pinch him here. He's going to try getting a better run.
This is, he's going to pinch him.
Got loose.
Yeah. Those new tires.
That's all it took.
4 brand new tires on Kleba, and that is all it took.
Yep, just that little bobble, and Kleba was just able to sail on by. And those 4 fresh tires looking real good there for that 16. As it looks like Vincent Arthur struggling on those old tires as well. He's back to 9th already, so probably not going to get any stage points here for that 24 car. But here comes Ronnie Norman on those 4 fresh tires. He's now up to Blade Timmons, looking to the outside here. Timmons blocks him. Oh, man.
Yeah, everybody in the top 7, with the exception of Timmons, has those fresh tires.
Yeah, that was a big block there by Timmons, and now he's got 2 cars on his outside.
Here comes Kyle Rochelle in the middle. Gutsy call, but he does pull it down there. There's Cody Height changing lanes at the last moment to take advantage of the gap. Here comes Tom Senchek down to the bottom on Blake Timmons, and all of a sudden those 4 fresh tires looking really good for a number of these drivers.
Now you're seeing what I was talking about. Whenever these guys that saved this set of tires, they're going to have those 4 good ones at the end, and they're going to be the ones driving by everybody like it's nothing. So this is why it's kind of a best of both worlds. These guys that are passing these guys are going to get great stage points. Those guys with extra tires, they're going to feel like Superman later on tonight.
Certainly, it's a gamble. Which direction do you go? Well, we know which direction Ronnie Norman's going, and that is to take second place. That was a little bit of a move to say, I want that position, Kyle. Just accept the fact that I'm going to pass you here. Ronnie Norman takes that position on the outside, brings it down a little bit to solidify it. Dustin,
let's see if he runs the top here. He's gonna go back to the bottom. So I'm sure he's been talking with Vincent Arthur about that. You know, we've seen him ripping the top a lot. But Vinny, he said that outside's only good for a couple laps. You got to get back down to the bottom. And sure enough, Ronnie was back down to the bottom pretty quickly there. He's back down here in 3 and 4 as well.
You know, a place I love running that top line and people don't expect it. Talladega and Daytona. They do not.
Yeah, the old Pied Piper move. You know, you get up there and lead an entire lane, man.
If you get that run time just right, the side draft and everything, you've got a rocket ship that nobody expects on the top lane. They're like, how's this guy going from like 15th to 2nd place with no help? But yeah, you just got to get it right, got to time it right. Tom Senchek there in 4th place. Let's see if he can do his championship hopes some good here in this 2nd stage.
He's got to get himself off strategy with Kleba. If you keep doing what the leaders are doing, then you're just going to stay behind them. You got to do something to flip the script on them and get ahead. I mean, he might be able to get up there and possibly contend with them, but it's definitely easier to try to flip the script to get the lead, hope for a caution, anything at this point, because it's going to be really difficult for Senchek to make it in right now, especially with his teammate and Ronnie Norman being the 2 that are ahead of him, both in the top 10 right now, getting stage points. So it's making it a lot harder for Senchek here, with Martinsville being the last race before the Final 4. So it's this and one more, and then we're at the final. We're at the finale.
Yeah, and you know, 2 of the 4 drivers over there at Late Apex have taken victories here in the NORA Cup Series. So certainly Senchek kind of surprised. He's taken several podiums, but not been able to get up there to the top step. If you could do it, tonight would be the night to do it. But Kyle Rochelle, he's looking at trying to get his name into that W column as well. It won't mean a championship for him, but it would feel good, certainly, here in this season to finally take that victory. He's going down the low side on Ronnie Norman. Norman has gone back up to the top, though.
Yeah, and I think he was kind of forced to go back up to the top. Kyle Rochelle got a good run on him, got to his bottom, and kind of forced Ronnie to take that outside. But now you can see Rochelle going to clear him in 3 and 4. The bottom is just so much better down there in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I would say the top is better for speed, but 1 and 2 bottom is better for saving tires. So you can see Ronnie Norman immediately back down to the bottom.
Well, Vincent Arthur has gone all the way back to 14th position. You see him there in the middle of this nasty dogfight going in the mid-pack here. Dakota Hendrickson, Justin Moody, all trying to go by. Now, I don't know what... Oh, Christensen up into that wall again. And Arthur goes up and gives him a little love tap from behind. Not sure what's going on with Christensen. Just seems like every time we get him on camera, he goes up there and kisses that wall. But,
yeah, Christenberry, he's getting into the wall quite a bit, and he's jumping over that little bit of a cushion that basically is up there, that grip strip that Vinny was talking about. If you get over it, you get sucked into the wall and just kind of stay up there for 100 to 150 feet.
It's a rough go of it, but then here's Kristen Berry fighting back with Justin Moody. You see Matthew George back there struggling as well. So two of these flatline drivers back here in 15th and 16th place in the championship hunt. Matthew George needs it more than anything, but Vincent Arthur kind of trapped back here in this mid-pack. Now, I wonder if they're going to gamble on something pretty dramatic for the end of this race. Trying to position themselves, maybe come in, take a pit stop, and be in perfect position for the final stage.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what I was talking about, and that's flipping the script of the race. Kleba probably going to pit at the end of this stage at lap around 100, and he's going to have 60 laps to go, and everyone's going to have to pit once. But if a caution comes out, this might be their last set of tires that they take between lap 100 to 160. That stop might be their last set. Whereas everyone else that stayed out, Vinny, I think, who else was it? Was it Harper? Did he? I think it was Everett Couts, possibly.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, three cars are in a good position to possibly flip the script here tonight.
I want to say that was Jacob Malone who just about bought the farm on that one, and it looks like he's kind of struggling through the corner. That was a very close call there, and as a result, he's in 7th place, but he's fallen back quite considerably from where he was at just a moment ago. He got very sideways, almost lost it. Let's see if we can tell exactly what happened here. This was, again, just a little moment ago. I believe it was exiting turn number 2. You see how loose that machine's getting. And look at that, Christian.
Whew. That's a great save there, but definitely that just killed his tires. My goodness. I think he turned that wheel 90 degrees toward the right. That's pretty far, man.
This is not dirt racing, folks. You did not accidentally tune into the wrong event.
Cody Height with an issue there.
Oh, goodness. So many of these cars really having to deal with some bucking Broncos out there. I guess that Mustang that Cody Height's got is rearing up a bit much. A little tough to take.
A little angry out there.
A little angry, for sure. Of course, the Camaro not doing much, not that much friendlier out there right now, but Tim Harper chasing down Cody Height. That's for 5th position. Right now, we've got 4 of our championship drivers in the top 5 as we're coming up very close to the end of the stage. And that is Dustin Kleba, Kyle Rochelle not in the championship hunt, Ronnie Norman, Tom Senchek, and Cody Height all looking for maximum points to try to get into the championship. Of course, Kleba, hey, he's already in Phoenix. He's got his room booked. He's probably got the trophy dimensions already, so he can figure out how big of a case he needs to purchase for that. And being, oh my goodness, Malone in the wall again. Being realistic, there is some cash prizes that are available for these drivers. There is a championship purse, and I just saw those numbers posted. I don't know if we can talk about them, but they are serious numbers, man. I mean, these guys are, I mean, we're talking 3 digits behind what the champion gets. So with that, I believe we just hit the stage caution. Kleba in 1st, Kyle Rochelle in 2nd, Ronnie Norman in 3rd, Tom Senchek in 4th, Cody Height in 5th place. And with that, we're going to step aside for just a moment. We're going to catch our breath, and we will come right back with the driver interview and the rest of this race. You won't want to miss it. I'm sure a lot of drivers plotting and planning how to get that big W. Stay tuned. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Once again, big shout out to all of you joining us live over in our YouTube chat room. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and please hit that like button. We'll make sure we get this out there to the rest of the YouTubesphere. We are joined here by none other than Dustin Kleba for KPR Motorsports. And Dustin, it just seems like last night we were talking, but here you are out here in the Cup race, and you're putting in a bang-up job taking that second stage. How's it feeling to you?
Feels pretty good. It took me probably the first stage to figure out how to drive this thing. I thought maybe, I mean, these cars are somewhat similar to trucks, but for some reason this track, it is driving absolutely totally different. So it kind of took all of practice to learn how to drive, a little bit of the first stage to learn how to drive. I think I'm starting to figure it out, but if I'm figuring it out, that means there's a lot of smart, very talented drivers in this field that are also figuring it out. So I'm sure it'll be an exciting last stage here.
Well, we talked to Blake Hoppy, who took a shocker stage 1 victory, but he was commenting how kind of hot it was out there. Do you think that's what the difference maker is just how hot it is? It's getting upwards of 100 degrees. Right now it's dropped a little bit down to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, but certainly not a cool day here in virtual Miami. Is that possibly what it is, or you think it's something else?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like the hotter the track temp gets, the less grip you have, whether that's making you tighter or looser. You just are all around just kind of skating all over the place, and that's sort of what I'm feeling. So that could definitely be what's going on. But as we're going along here, cars are laying down rubber, starting to get a little bit more grip. Track temp might be dropping a little bit, so I'm sure the speeds are going to start picking up here too.
Well, we got one lap to go here. You got some hard chargers in the field. If Arthur has it planned right, you'll probably see him at the end of this race. You got, of course, some guys that need a victory, like Cody Height, going to be coming forward. Tom Senchek, Ryan Bird, and then, of course, Ronnie Norman. He needs a victory, but he took the pole. He's been red hot. What's it going to take to get victory over all those guys tonight?
Yeah, man, this race has kind of mixed up a lot of the heavy hitters from the caution starting off, and then a little bit of mixed strategy in that first stage. I mean, they're going to be coming. Ronnie is super fast. He was fast last night. If he didn't have problems, he was going to be a handful, and he's going to be a handful tonight. And I mean, Vincent, everybody you named, they're all handfuls everywhere you go. So really, it's just consistency, not making any mistakes, have a good green flag stop if we get there, and just have fun.
All right. Well, have fun yourself. Good luck. We'll talk to you at the end of this race, I'm sure.
Thanks, guys.
That is Dustin Kleba, driver number 16 for KPR Motorsports, and took the second stage. Will he take the race win again and make it 2 for 2 here in the round of 8? Well, he's got a long ways to go. Still quite a few laps, but Timmy Harper, Cody Height taking fuel only, gambling, trying to get their wins. Cody Height leads us back to the green flag.
Yeah, this is another one of those guys that's going to flip the script on the leader, do something different. He took fuel only, but that gives him an extra set here later in the race.
Got somebody going around back there. Not entirely sure who that was at the back of the pack, but we've got some serious action happening here with Kyle Rochelle sliding up into second place. Dustin Kleba having to settle back there for third. I mean, we were just talking about some of the other drivers, but here comes Late Apex forming at the front once again like a cycling team. And now Cody Height up close to the wall, not quite into the wall. Oh my goodness. Some drivers all over the place. Kleba down.
That was Kleba.
Did he get loose coming off the scene?
Yeah, he got really loose on the outside and shot the whole way down to the white line, so he's going to lose a position there to Senchek.
Well, and there's Norman on the outside with a big send. He's coming up the outside of Kleba. You see Malone getting a great run into the corner. There's Ryan Bird all over this as well. Harper getting very loose on those older tires. Oh my goodness.
He got into the wall there. Got a little loose after he got into the wall, but he should be okay. I mean, he's going to have to short pit this stage for sure, but we'll see if it works for Harper and Cody. They need to stay probably right outside the top 10 when they come in.
in the meantime, Kyle Rochelle taking over that top spot, and Tom Senchek just behind, but here comes Dustin Kleba into that second spot. Ronnie Norman on the outside. Stormin' Norman back up into the top 5. He's looking to take it all on the outside. He's going to go by Ryan Bird up into 4th position.
Look how high he gets in the corners. I mean, he is probably half a car length off the wall. I wouldn't be surprised to see... Oh, no, he's going to go to the bottom. He's going to get underneath here.
Do the old crossover on Bird.
Now Bird's going to get that run off the corner, running that top lane. He's going to easily clear Norman here. We'll have to see if he goes back to the bottom. There he goes. He's going to the bottom here. Norman going to stay about a half a lane up. Now he gets behind him here. You always want to stay like a half a lane away from the guy in front of you. That way you get a little bit of clean air on the nose. Because whenever you're fully behind somebody, oh man, does it get tight.
Well, Rochelle having a fantastic run here out in front. And Tom Senchek, his teammate, that last lap, setting the fastest lap of the race, a 33.04. So good stuff for the late Apex teammates. But even
Real
with
quick,
that,
I'm looking at the standings. Brady Motes is out of this race. He's going to be in a must-win situation at Martinsville.
that is something else. That's unfortunate for him. Gladelich also sitting on pit road right now, but Brady Motes, unfortunately, despite all of those great finishes during the regular season, putting himself into the championship here tonight, having a terrible run of luck and out of this race. So that takes one of the championship contenders out of it. Cody Height, in the meantime, really struggling on those old tires. He's all the way back to 15th, and now not pitting for those new tires really starting to look like the wrong call.
Yeah, it's gonna look like the wrong call, but if a caution comes out with about 10 to go after everybody does their green flag pit stops, he's gonna look like a hero because he's gonna have that extra set of tires late in the race. But no, he's gonna wreck. I think Cody Height just went around, saved it, but he's got a lot of damage to that right front.
Yeah, that was, I saw him in the background, turned about 45 degrees to the wall.
Oh yeah, that right front is definitely pushed in. He's going to pit now. This is way too early. He's not going to be able to make it to the end on fuel. He's going to have to hope for a caution here.
Well, rough go of it for the playoff contender. We'll move back to it here. And it looks like Rochelle's still staying in the lead. Tom Senchek in second. Dustin Kleba holding on to third place. Ronnie Norman still close enough to try to claw his way back into this top 3. And you see side by side with Ryan Bird and Everett Couts.
You got to think Ryan Bird's probably going, hey man, I need this spot. Give it to me nice and easy. Don't make me work for it. But Everett, he wants to get out here and win this thing. He's not going to give it to these guys easy, even though they're running for a possible trip to Phoenix here tonight.
Well, it's all on the line right now. And certainly if you wanted to get in, you know, this is the time to do it. This is the place to do it. You need to move that car forward. You need to get up there and try and take victory. If you are Tom Senchek, if you're Ronnie Norman, if you're Ryan Bird, any of these drivers, Vincent Arthur. Wait a minute, Vincent Arthur up into 7th now? How did he get there?
Oh, he's got those 4 tires on now, and he's feeling comfortable now. But I tell you what, I'm thinking to myself, if you're in Kyle Rochelle's shoes right now, you're leading this race, and you got a teammate behind you that's pretty much in a must-win situation to make it in. But if you go out and win, then your other teammate is in a better position to possibly make it in. So which teammate is he going to help? Is he going to say, Senchek, come up here, get this win, lock yourself in, and knock our other teammate out? Or is he going to help and take the win and help Ryan Bird? So that's a tough position there for Rochelle to be in.
I don't know. It may be the night where suddenly your Discord doesn't work.
Yeah, it's going to be who's going to pay me more, you know, who's going to give me better stuff, you know?
Well, I seriously doubt anybody's job is on the line. I know they're a very tight group over there at Late Apex, but certainly Rochelle kind of running like someone lit a fire under him here tonight. I don't know if Homestead is his track, but he has been running a great first and second stage, and now here he is leading this race. Tom Senchek also having a fabulous race. Kleba gets cut off a little bit by Senchek. Senchek almost around. He manages to get it back going again. Wow.
Yeah, not many people in the field better at saving tires than Kleba and Norman. You don't see them getting loose right now. Senchek got loose, and there goes Kleba right on by, saving those tires, and he has something late in this run, and now Norman, he's going to have a run now on Senchek. Senchek going to block it. Norman's going to have to check up there behind him. But I think Norman might rip the top here. We'll have to see. I think he is currently trying to get that run on Senchek. Let's see if he runs the top again here at 1 and 2. He's going to choose to go down to the bottom here, or, well, the middle. You can see how he's trying to get like half of his car underneath there, not directly behind, just to get a little bit of air to the nose. He's got a little bit of a run here through the backstretch. Let's see what he chooses in 3 and 4. He's going to go a little bit higher than Senchek to try to get a run off the corner. And you're going to see that crossover come in play here, possibly. Here he comes. Good run. Do we see him go to the bottom in 1 and 2 and try to make this pass? Not close enough yet. But you see how smooth he is with his inputs on the wheel. He's not jerking it down to the bottom to get it to turn. He's just nice and smooth, slowly turns it down to the bottom, and that's the best way to run this track. You just want to be smooth with your wheel inputs to save the most in your tires.
Well, I think one of the things that's key with this car is knowing that there's just certain things you can't mitigate. It's going to break loose in certain situations. Just the speed of the car, the amount of downforce you've got, it is going to break traction. Now, if it's going to break traction in the middle of the corner, it's going to break traction off the corner. How can you adjust your line so that you absorb how it wants to break free and possibly utilize that to help you to turn the car? Obviously, if you do it on a seam, if you drive up and over the seam while turning the car, it's going to be prone to coming around on you. So how do you change your line coming through the middle of the corner and off the corner where you can still get the car to corner or to turn, but it's not going to turn around on you? And yet Ronnie able to do that with just the best of finesse. And of course, drivers like Dustin Kleba extremely skilled on riding that perfect line of adhesion where it's, you know, a lesser driver may let that car come around on him, but drivers like Dustin Kleba, Ronnie Norman, able to hang on each and every lap and use it to their advantage.
Pass for the lead here. Kleba goes underneath Rochelle, and he's going to easily take that. Just drove by him like he was sitting still. He had such a good run off of turn 3 and 4. Went to the bottom, side drafted him a little bit, and shot on by him there, coming out of turn 2. Great move there by Kleba to take the lead of this. And I do want to mention that the fuel window is open now. It opened up a couple laps ago, so these guys might be going into the pits here soon. You're going to see some, though, waiting as long as they can, hoping for a caution. So it's going to be 2 different types of strategies here the rest of this race as we're under 40 laps to go.
Well, Dustin Kleba hanging on to that lead. Kyle Rochelle just behind. Tom Senchek in 3rd. Ronnie Norman sitting in 4th place. and 5th place belonging to Everett Couts, but we are getting very ready for that round of pit stops, and then we're going to see how this all plays out as we get down to, right now we're at 35 laps to go into this last 30-lap stretch where everybody is going to be trying to get the last little bit that they can. We'll see the final strategies come out. And will it be somebody other than Dustin Kleba who will take the victory? Kleba seems to have put himself in the perfect position to take 2 NORA races in a row. I make it 3 potentially if you count last week.
You know, I think a person that we could see possibly do this undercut strategy, if I'm Matthew George or Vincent Arthur right now, I know, you know, the distance that I am back from Kleba isn't going to be brought down by staying out here and running and pitting the same exact time as Kleba does. The only way I'm going to be able to get up to him is if I do something different. So these guys may come into the pits here pretty soon to try to get off strategy from Kleba to try to do something to get that win.
Well, certainly lots of good strategies to go. Here we're going to see Tom Senchek go underneath his late Apex teammate, number 21, Kyle Rochelle, who was up there in the lead, and now Ronnie Norman in position to potentially take advantage as well.
Hey, here he comes. He's got a good run there on the bottom. See if he's able to do anything here. Might clear Rochelle. Oh, man. It's going to be tight.
Very tight. Here comes Couts to take advantage. Where did he come from?
I tell you what, he's proven me wrong. I said it earlier. He hasn't been that good at saving tires. He's right there with Ronnie Norman, and he's one of the best at saving tires. So Everett doing a great job here, saving those tires, and he gets by Rochelle, and now he's into 4th place. Well,
patience is a key. We heard it earlier in our interviews, and we're watching it play out right now. You've got to be, if you're going to do the tire save game, you've got to be very, very patient and wait until the time has come to get that car going and push it a little bit faster than you have been pushing it. And then you got to be prepared to do that, as we see Josh Curry pitting right now. Pulling that one down into the pits and back up to the front. Dustin Kleba well underway. Timmy Harper pulling it down onto pit road.
Yeah, now's the time to pull in. Once Harper comes in, now's the time. Here comes Senchek, Norman both pitting. Ryan Bird into the pits. The entire field basically pulled off. As soon as they heard that Harper was in the pits, they're all coming in. Only 8 drivers stay out, 9, 10 drivers staying out on the track, but we should see them this lap, and if not, we're going to see them stretch this thing to about 140, possibly 145, the max.
They go up on the jacks.
Does anyone take 2 tires here? That could be a possible strategy here. Norman taking 4, Senchek taking 4.
With this long to go, I do wonder if that would be the smart play, but
smart, no, but bold, absolutely.
If you were gambling, sure, why not?
And one of those gambling is Matthew George. He's staying out there hoping for a caution. I would expect him to run until the fuel runs out in that car, just hoping for a caution at any given time here. He's got to do something different.
Well, like you said, yeah, he's got to flip the script. He's got to do something different than the leaders. He needs a win. I mean, this isn't necessarily the time to abandon. You know, this hasn't necessarily been Matthew George's strategy to do this kind of super off strategy, but you got 2 races to pull off a win essentially, and you might as well go for it in both races. So here he is, trying something a little different. And if he can get a perfectly timed caution, well, this may work out to his advantage.
I tell you what, if we can... Well, here comes Matthew George. He's going to run out of fuel pretty early in this run, but and bring it in. But I tell you what, the battle right now is between Vincent Arthur and Kleba and Senchek for what will be the eventual lead of this race here after the front 3 pit. They are battling pretty tight here. You got about a half a straightaway there between Vince and Arthur, but he pit, I think, a lap after Kleba or the same lap. So these guys, this is where the battle is going to be for the win of this race. It's between Kleba, Arthur, and Senchek here, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was the top 3 the last time we were out here in the Cup Series.
Well, Kleba is got about a half a second lead over Arthur.
Oh, caution, there it is. Malone and Hoppy, the only 2 that stay out. Oh, man, this is going to catch Norman on the a lap down. Ryan Bird, Matthew George. They're all going to have to take the wave around here. And I tell you who this is going to possibly benefit. We'll have to see. Oh, no, it's not. Harper is still 1 lap down. I was thinking maybe he was able to get in and get back on the lead lap, but he'll have to take a wave around here. But cautions breed caution, so there could be another one, and some guys can come in and get some tires and do a good job here. But Alex Axman, he's going to have the trouble. Let's see what happens here. He's going to get a little bit loose there. Hits the apron. Oh man, right in front of Conover. Yeah, it's a tough break there for Alex in his debut here. And yeah, he's definitely had a handful out there with that loose car. Look at it. Going to the right. Oh. Now go back to the left. Nope, too late. Here we go. And that's just a learning process with these cars, because you got to understand that whenever you're turning that hard right, it's just going to hook in the wall. You got to turn it left as soon as it starts grabbing the track. You got to go left, but man, Conover, great job getting underneath him and avoiding that one. He's going to need a change of underwear, though, in the pits.
It's interesting how Conover does keep a fully stocked change of underwear.
He does. He keeps like 5 of them in there just in case, because he ends up getting in some sticky situations more often than you think.
We'll just leave it right there where it's at. Jacob Malone, Peyton Tulloch, Blake Hoppy all coming in to get those fresh tires here under this caution. And Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur, Tom Senchek resuming in the lead of the race. So currently Justin Moody, Dakota Hendrickson, Anthony Mackie, Cody Height getting caught now laps down. Cody Height already a couple of laps down as of this point. So, as we're under caution, Dustin Kleba and Vincent Arthur are back where we thought they might be. I mean, this is really the showdown for them. You got 3 championship drivers with Tom Senchek, who's been showing well tonight, now in that 3rd spot, looking at a potential another podium. You got to drop back to 8th place. And Ronnie Norman, who is right now, he's going to have to take that wave around. And this is going to be very interesting stuff for this restart with Ronnie Norman and Ryan Bird, Kyle Rochelle getting trapped where they're at.
Yeah, that's going to be a little rough. They're going to be behind all the lap cars, behind everybody that's going to be possibly slower than them. So they're going to have a lot to gain back. Not to mention they're all going to have to start single file as well. So if you're, I'm not seeing who the last car is that's taking this wave around. I believe it's Chad Angle. If you're Chad Angle, you're going to be behind a row of about 10 cars on that bottom, and you know that's just the tough break that comes with a caution that comes during pit cycle.
Well, it's been a very interesting race. 24 laps remain. Now, you know, Ronnie Norman, Ryan Bird, Tom Senchek, they're all going to be gunning for this win. How many setbacks, not Ronnie's doing, has he had and has he had to fight through? What's another setback for Ronnie? I mean, doesn't have a black screen right now. So, I mean, he's still got a chance at this race win.
Don't jinx him here. It might happen. Tell you what, I think the person in the best position, though, it's got to be Malone and Hoppy. They're on the freshest tires, the greenest tires out here. So while they're going to be a little slow on the restart maybe because of those cold tires, once they heat up, they're going to be in the best position with the best ability to get around these guys. So we'll have to see if Malone and Hoppy can do anything.
Well, we've got a poll running in the YouTube chat room for all of you interested in participating. Who will win tonight's race? Will it be Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur, Tom Senchek, or Jacob Malone? Those are your top 4 right now. So which one of those 4 will win tonight's race? If you think it's somebody else, might as well do a write-in. Just write it in the comments, and we'll see who wins here tonight. Free pair of gnome socks going to the winner.
Now, is that socks with gnomes on it, or are those socks the size of gnomes' feet?
They are previously race-worn gnome socks.
Oh, I don't think I would want that. Look how many cars are starting on this outside. I thought it would be the inside, but everyone's going to be on the outside lane here because that is the longest lane. No, it looks like it, but no, this is all those lap cars getting their wave around. They have to take whichever lane is the longest. They can't go down to the bottom, so they have to stay up at the top the whole way across the start-finish line. So you got to be really careful that you don't change lanes and get a penalty for that. So we'll have to see on this restart if everyone's able to maintain their line and have a clean restart even with all of this. But this is going to set up for a possible caution because it gets crazy going into turn 1 whenever you're all jammed up like this. The green flag back in the air here.
This is it.
Kleba
21
gone.
to go, and Dustin Kleba has set sail. But look at Jacob Malone right behind. Here he comes. Freshest tires of the bunch, and look at how Senchek gets bottled up there.
There it goes.
Who's in the wall?
I believe that's Moody. Possibly.
Yes, Justin Moody, Dakota Hendrickson. So that will bring out another caution.
Oh, that's actually Mackey, I believe.
Justin...
No, it is Moody.
Moody and Dakota Hendrickson having contact right there on the start. Let's see if we can figure out this one, Christian.
This is what we do best, figuring out what caused these wrecks. And you can see Moody got loose, goes up the track, still trying to save it. Gets tagged there from Dakota, and then he was still kind of trying to save that car, and comes up right in front of Hendrickson. Has Hendrickson trying to come down to keep it off the wall, and that was just a messy situation. And that happens whenever you have all those lap cars just trying to make moves going into turn 1. And you can see how they're all fanning out all over the track, and that's what happens.
Well,
right over
again,
the seam.
Essentially, it was a single file restart, and that can be also another issue.
Oh yeah. Whenever there's how many did I say? I think like 15 cars on the outside lane there that were single file. That it spreads out and fans out so quickly in the corner that it's basically not even a single file restart. It's more so a 3-wide restart. Whenever you get into turn 1, that's how crazy those get.
One more time, this time from Tim Harper's point of view. See them up in front. Right about there, you're thankful one of them did not come careening off the wall and down into the racetrack. But with just 20 laps to go, of course, you know what that means. It's the 20 laps to go segment, brought to you by Snyder Graphics. And always at Snyder Graphics. That's facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. This is what they do. They put together race paint schemes, and they come together quick if you need it quick. They're always affordable and very approachable. I was reading a horror story the other day on Facebook about a guy who got scammed from somebody who's outside the country and promised them one at one price and didn't do a good job, and then they said, oh, well, okay, we'll make it a little bit better. So they made it acceptable. The guy was still a little leery about it, and then he said, the guy who ordered the paint scheme, he said, okay, fine, I'll take it. And then the guy said, okay, send me the money plus a tip. And he said, well, wait a minute, I already paid you, but, I'll send you a little bit more money. So they work it out, and the guy keeps asking for a tip, and he keeps asking for more and more money, and he doesn't even give him a finished paint scheme. That's not how Snyder Graphics does it. Snyder Graphics is going to work with you the whole step of the way, every step of the way. Make sure you get exactly the paint scheme that you need, and they've done it dozens of times. Lots of drivers here in the NORA Cup and Truck Series, and also in other series as well. So if you need a NASCAR Next Gen machine, livery design, or a truck, or a late model, or an Indy car, whatever you got, bring it to Snyder Graphics. That's facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. Also doing your race-themed wedding invitations and funeral arrangements as well.
That was an interesting story there, Trevor. I wasn't sure where you're going with it, and I still don't know if I fully know where you went with it. But
the graphic designer was based out of this country, and he kept asking this guy for a tip. He like asked him for half up front and then half at the end plus a tip, but the guy didn't really finish the paint scheme, and then the guy who was asking for it, he was just like, okay, I need it, but it kind of sucks, but I guess I need it. And this designer didn't really do a great job, but he was inexpensive, and sometimes you get what you pay for, but sometimes you get a good deal too, because Snyder Graphics, very affordable, very professional, and also a good commentator as well.
Yes.
This guy was demanding a tip. It's like crazy. It's so crazy. I've never seen that before. Like, I used to do food delivery, and the amount of people who used to be like, okay, I'll deliver your food if you give me an extra tip. I'm like, the outrage. I cannot believe
DoorDashers do that. They'll say, oh, yeah, thanks for the $2 tip. But green flag back in the air here. Dustin Kleba, he's getting a really good start there. And Jacob Malone, he's still up here hanging around in the top two. So really good run for Jacob Malone in that 31 car. Senchek on the outside of Vincent Arthur. Here comes Peyton Tolick as well. He's in the top 5. Good run for him.
This is the beehive happening right here. Just a swarm of activity. There's Vincent Arthur. He's pulling up on the back of Senchek. He's going to send it high. Tolick in the wall just behind. Arthur going to the high side. Kleba still owning the front of this race, but some other drivers coming forward in a hurry. Malone on the outside. Senchek on the inside. Senchek now pulls it into position to have Kleba in his sights. Will he go for the race win? Oh, Senchek almost takes it around, but he manages to pull it back up just in front of Blake Hoppe. Hoppe pulls it down.
I couldn't tell if he had help going around or if he just got loose there in front of Malone. I was going to say he's going to have to chop off Malone's nose in order to get up to the top, and he ended up going around, and that's going to hurt him worse than if he would have just kept it off of him there. But now Vincent Arthur going to try underneath him and try to get up to Kleba here. And remember, if we have a caution, some of these guys still have a set of tires in the pits. They could easily go in. Oh, man. Got some action down here in the back, but Vincent with a really good block on Malone. He took him high, took him low.
He sent it into that corner, and he says, I'm just going to drive up on exit. I do not care if you hit my rear bumper, Jacob Malone. But unfortunately, Malone not at all fazed by Vincent's tactic, and Malone retakes that position. that time by, Dustin Kleba sets the fastest lap of the race, the first lap in the 32-second bracket, and I think that's the first 32-second lap that we have seen all weekend.
Yeah, that's lightning quick, and he did say that the track's getting cooler, so we're going to see those lap times go up, and he goes out there and sets an absolutely insane lap. Vincent Arthur probably just, at this point, is saying, get out of my way, man. We're trying to race for points here for a chance at Phoenix. And I think, Bird's saying the same thing to Tolik, Norman saying it to Hoppy. These guys just don't like these guys coming out here and running for owners' points and battling them this hard. But at the same time, they have every right out here. But Bird into the wall here. Norman going to try to capitalize. This is big here. Senchek on the bumper of Norman, too. Oh, these three are battling for those last few spots getting in. 3 wide for them.
3 wide, but in the meantime, Vincent Arthur has gotten around Malone, or has he? He drifts up the track, but Malone going to do the crossover again to try to take that position back, and he does heading into turn number 3.
He does for the moment, but Vincent going to try to get a better run than him off the corner. Let's see if he's able to. Malone with those fresher tires
Tolik now
keeps it going.
Puts himself in the middle of this battle. Tolik having one of his best runs of the entire season, up into 4th. Malone holds on to that 2nd spot. In the meantime, Kleba has set sail. Goodbye, Dustin Kleba. 10 laps to go.
Oh, man. I don't know who that was. I think maybe Everett Couch possibly getting loose there toward the back of the field, but my goodness.
Side by
now
side
we got Norman
here.
underneath Senchek.
And Matthew George right in the middle of this. 4 of the championship drivers running 6th through 9th right now.
And these are the guys that are 3rd through 6th in the playoffs, so they're all trying to fight for those last few spots remaining. And doing a good job of it, getting as many points as they can. Oh, a couple cars into the wall there off the corner. Everyone giving it everything they got now.
Arthur pulled it down to the inside. He almost came halfway down the backstretch.
Oh, here we go again. He's going to block him again.
And Tolik now going to pin in Malone. No. Oh, wow. What a run down to the apron. Arthur gives to Malone. Arthur going to try to pin him down low. And, I mean, Arthur just tried to put every single tactic in the book to use here to try to take this position.
He got loose there, but I think Tolik helped him a little bit. But now Tolik going to look underneath him here for 2nd. And now Malone trying to get underneath Tolik. Oh, Malone goes back up to the top here, gets a run on Tolik, but now we got, I believe, Hoppy is now joining this battle. He's coming into this now. Oh, Malone into the wall.
Malone touches that wall. Hoppy now by. Hoppy up into 4th.
Oh, here comes Malone again.
And just like that, Malone gets a monster run off the corner and decides to do a little bump drafting on Peyton Tolik. A little wall ride and then get a monster draft off of the corner. It's insane the type of run that Malone just got. And he's going to get another big run.
Oh man, 6 to go, and these guys are racing like every lap is the last lap. And it pretty much is for a lot of these guys. If they don't make it here, it's going to be a must-win at Martinsville. But Jacob Malone, he's definitely trying for his first top 3, I believe, of the season, his first podium, and so is Tolik and Hoppy. So all these guys having the best run of the season. Look at the run he's going to get here. He's in that grip strip. Here he comes. Good run off the corner. See what he does with it in 1 and 2.
What a run he gets through 3 and 4. He's going to try to carry it into 1 and 2. It's exciting to watch, but I don't know if he's going to actually pull off the position, as Vincent Arthur has managed to do some pretty good work there up in front. 5 laps remaining here at Homestead in the 3rd to last race of the entire season for the NORA Cup Series 2023.
Right now, if a caution comes out, a lot of these guys are going to be happy. They're going to come down and get 4 tires for a green-white checker. As you see, Everett Counts into the wall.
Keeps it going,
man,
though.
big block. Blake Hoppy blocks Bird the whole way to the white line there going into turn 1. Peyton Tulloch around the outside of Jacob Malone here, trying to defend the position. He's going to keep it. More smoke in the back. These guys going absolutely nuts these last 5 laps here.
Ronnie Norman up into that momentarily was into that 6th position. Now side by side with Senchek. Here's Bird coming into this fight as well. They are all over each other. Vincent Arthur and Peyton Tulloch engaged in one heck of a battle here for 2nd place. In the meantime, 1.8 seconds is the lead for Dustin Kleba to take
Malone into the wall.
To take 2 races in a row here this week and 3 races in the last 2 weeks. Unbelievable.
Here comes Arthur.
As Vincent Arthur a little too far back to possibly get up there and take advantage and be able to take the win from Kleba, but he's going to do everything he can to hold on to 2nd and get these maximum amount of points here in this race.
Yeah, we know he's going to win. We got to keep the camera on these two for the last lap. I mean, this is going to be a wild battle. Here he comes outside, Peyton Tulloch. These guys going to be side by side through 3 and 4. Arthur going to drive it in deep. Let's see if Peyton Tulloch's able to get a good enough run on the exit of the corner here. Oh, man, look at him wheel that thing. Oh, here's a good run. Let's see what he does. Goes to the top here.
Starts off in that mid group.
And this guy, Ronnie Norman, into 4th place. Here he comes underneath Tulloch. Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? Ronnie Norman.
Big box.
Arthur all the way down to the apron line. White flag is out for Dustin Kleba. This will be the checkered flag as he rolls across the line. Kleba going to take the victory, and Arthur going to hold on for 2nd. Tulloch in 3rd. Fantastic run for Tulloch, who goes up there and gives a nudge to Arthur. Ronnie Norman manages to pull off a couple of positions in the last 2 laps and take 4th place. Matthew George, once again, the guy comes in and Vincent Arthur with a big crash there.
Yeah, he had some help there from Peyton Tulloch, gave him a little bit of a door and sent him into the inside wall. I think he was just trying to congratulate him, but ended up actually just destroying Vincent Arthur's car. Here he comes. He's going to just give him a little tap there, another little tap, and sends him right into that inside wall.
Imagine if that happened in real life and poor Vincent was taken to the hospital over that one. But good thing this is virtual racing. No bodies harmed here. And Dustin Kleba going to bring this one around. And actually, there he is. Deciding to do a little bit of donuts and celebration for the fans after taking 2, make that 3 races in a row in NORA. Congratulations to Dustin Kleba. We're going to take a momentary break. We'll be right back here with your final results and a chance to chat with our top 3 finishers. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. It was a long, hard-fought race for Dustin Kleba, but ultimately, he did not have to fend off nearly the amount of attackers that Vincent Arthur did there to take 2nd place, but he celebrates to make that 3 NORA races in a row, and the hottest guy, the big man on campus here at the NORA Cup Series. 2nd place going to Vincent Arthur. Not quite good enough to punch that ticket to Phoenix, but I think with this performance, taking all of those points, I'm pretty sure he has locked it in just based on points. Ronnie Norman in 4th place. Peyton Tullett taking 3rd, the final podium position. Congratulations to him. I believe this is his first podium position of the season, and what a fantastic one at that. Norman, as I mentioned, in 4th place. Matthew George taking 5th place in a good points run there for certain for Matthew George. Tom Senchek taking 6th place. 7th going to Kyle Rochelle. 8th to Ryan Bird. 9th, Jacob Malone. 10th goes to Josh Conover. Good recovery effort for Josh. Blake Hoppy taking 11th place. 17 positions gained for Blake tonight. Everett Couts in 12th place. Timmy Harper, disappointing 13th place for him. Cody Reeder finishing in 14th place. Dakota Moniz, 15th place. Jake Christenberry in 16th. Chad Engel in 17th. Anthony Mackey in 18th. Dakota Hendrickson, 19th. Cody Height, 20th place. Difficult run for the championship driver Cody Height on YouTube. Jacob Gladelich finishing 21st. Josh Curry in 22nd. Justin Moody, 23rd. Alex Axman, 24th. Brady Moats, another championship driver. Sad night for him, back in 25th place. It's going to be a must-win situation in Martinsville, and that's difficult, but possibly Brady can pull it off. He's just that kind of driver. Blade Timmons in 26th place. Cameron Thompson, 27th. Gary Freeman Jr., difficult night tonight here in Homestead, in 28th. And John Cottle, really rough night, ending his race early in 29th place. So with that, we now have a chance to chat with our top 3, and
We didn't try.
I believe we now have Peyton Tullett, a chance to chat with him. So, Peyton, congratulations. You hop out of the car. This is your first podium here in the NORA Cup Series. How does it feel to take your first podium, and what's it like to hold with these guys there at the end of the race?
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, I have came a long way since, the first day I joined NORA, and sadly I didn't get to make enough races this year to make the playoffs, but I feel like I've improved a lot in speed. I mean, the speed I've learned in here is translating to other leagues, and I'm starting to win races and do a lot of good things outside of NORA, so it's about time that I can show that I have some speed in here. Last weekend was not my best showing. It was a terrible weekend for me, so I came in here super focused, wanted to prove that I had some speed and that I belonged. So we rode around for the race because stage points didn't matter for the car tonight, and at the end there we drove hard and ended up getting 3rd, so we'll definitely take that.
Well, it was one heck of a drive, and as you mentioned, some hard league racing and really sharpening your craft is going to pay off everywhere, not just in this discipline either. I mean, I'd be surprised if it does carry over into even road course racing and elsewhere as you get used to sharpening those tools. But Peyton doing a fantastic job, and like I said, you're the only black background driver in the midst of all those yellow drivers there. So it says you've definitely improved. What was the race like tonight? We did not see you necessarily up there in the top 3. Was it a special strategy that got you there at the very end? Was it just you knew it was time to go and you just put everything on the line? What was it that took to get you up to 3rd?
Kind of a mixture of both. Like I said before, I'm in the owners' playoffs and not in the playoffs. The stage points matter none to me, just where I finish. So I didn't want to get involved in an early wreck like I have been unfortunate on some occasions this season to be in. So kind of just rode around, saved some set of tires for the last stage, and then just kind of went hard. And I drove all the way to like 8th-ish on that last run there, and pit stops started happening. I'm like, well, I'm going to throw a Hail Mary and just stay out. You never know, worth a shot. And then we get that late yellow, so that gives me an opportunity starting the top 5 to really show what I had. And at that point, it was full on green light. And hey, if I could just got by Vince a little quicker, I feel like I might have had something for the 16, but Dustin was so quick tonight, so who knows. But yeah.
Well, it was a beautiful run up to third place. Did you have anybody that you'd like to thank for that run to third out there tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank the league owner for having me here and having his team development me. Roy Norman for bringing me in here. He's the guy that really saw I had some potential and really wanted to help me, sharpen my blades in here. So shout out to those guys. So I wouldn't be here without those two. And shout out to Vincent as well. I don't know if you saw at the end of the race, a little bit of neck code. I did not mean to wreck him after the flag.
We did catch that, yes.
Yeah, that was not on purpose, for the record. That was me trying to thank him for an awesome fight because it was so much fun. So Vincent is a really fast guy. So all three of those dudes have helped me get way better. So I can't thank those enough.
Well, we'll have to see where it puts you in that owner standings at the end of this. You were 7th place. But you were close enough that certainly you've overtaken it and gotten up to 5th at the end of this race, and I'm not sure if it was enough points to put you up safely into that top 4 that will go off to Phoenix. But what do you think about next week coming up at Martinsville?
We'll see. I don't have a lot of experience in Martinsville, so I don't know what to make of that track. It's always been a handful, so I might have to get some practice in it, and hey, we'll see how it goes. I'm not really supposed to be here. I'm kind of the sleeper guy, I guess. I mean, nobody really knows me. I've not been in the front much, so I'm just trying to, prove some people wrong and surprise some people. I'm kind of the wild card. I'm not really expected to do anything, but we're going to try to make an impact.
Well, it was a fabulous job out there tonight. We'll see you next week. Of course, for those of you who don't already know, Martinsville will be on Monday night next week. Monday night for the NORA Cup Series. That's a late change that was made in an effort to avoid Halloween and some of the other commitments that some of the other drivers have. So Monday night next week is the NORA Cup race. Mark it on your calendars, or better yet, subscribe. Then you'll know, because it'll be right there on your home screen. Peyton, great job getting to third, and we wish you the best of luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for broadcasting.
Thank you very much. So that is Peyton Tulloch, driver of the number 1 for JRC Sim Team. And Christian, I believe you caught up with our second place finisher. This guy must have been sweating up a storm there at the end, just trying to hold on to that second place, Vincent Arthur.
Yeah, he more than likely was sweating a little bit there, battling between Peyton Tulloch and Jacob Malone there. Some crazy battles, some big blocks, but Vinny, I think you're going to lock yourself in with this performance. Second place, though, you're locked in to the Final Four, more than likely. So how's it feel, man? You finished second, and you're going to Phoenix for another possible championship.
Thank God. I'm just so glad that this one was over when it was over. I did not belong up here, but just credit to everybody in this 2014. We really persevered. Obviously, we didn't start the night the way we wanted to. This track was it was tough. It was really, really loose, really, really slick. Running Sunday, I thought I had one idea of the way these cars were going to react, and then tonight it was a complete 180. So difference in fuel load and other factors, track temp and whatnot. But yeah, didn't start off the night, and then it was just trying to battle back, limit the damage as much as we could. And once that final stage started, it was the best the car had been all day. And then I figured, with 30 laps to go, I had nothing to lose. I knew I was in a pretty decent point spot, so figured try to pull some strategy. And the caution is not what I wanted to see. I let the tires cool back down, but it ended up working out for us. But yeah, I was hanging on for dear life there at the end. Just credit to the 24 crew and everything. Them battling through adversity. This was not a very good night, but we turned it into something. So that's always something to hold our hat on.
Yeah, and I'm just glad you came out of the infield care center okay, because that hit out of turn 2 that you took there, it wasn't intentional by any means, but my goodness, you absolutely destroyed the wall. But talk about that beginning of the race for you. We saw you. We heard you last night talk about the seams and how they're an issue. Then you go out lap, I think 1 or 2, cross the seam and go around.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of basing off my previous knowledge from Sunday. I mean, I know the seams are pretty deadly here, but it seemed like Sunday I was able to find a sweet spot where I got out the throttle enough where if I was crossing that seam, it would still, snap just like it normally would, but it would, I wouldn't be as drastic. And kind of did the same thing. I was pushing up a little bit. I felt myself like get loose when I was on the white line, and then I just kind of kept it half throttle, trying to give Ronnie room up top. And Ronnie got back to my door a lot quicker than I was expecting. And obviously, us being teammates, the last thing I wanted to do was put both of us in the wall. So got out of it a little bit, and unfortunately when I got out of it, I also hit the seam at the same time, and she just snapped around. So thought I had it saved, and then I got a little bit of help, but it's just kind of one of those things that happens. Yeah, just super unfortunate, but glad that we could come back and still nab a second place out of it.
Yeah, you talk about fighting back. I mean, you got absolutely wailed whenever that wreck happened earlier, and you got all the damage fixed, or at least most of it. Kind of came back through the field, used strategy, get you up there, and now you're going into Martinsville absolutely worry-free with the performance tonight. So, I mean, typically when we go to Martinsville, the first two people that come to mind are you and Josh Conover for running well there. So, but now you don't have to worry about running perfect there. You just gotta go out there and try to beat Josh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I just wanted to make sure I was locked in before Martinsville, because it's still 50-50 or whether I'm going to be able to make it next week. But that's why we put so much effort in these first two races of the round, just to get ourselves into this position. But really, it's something that we've been building all year. If it wasn't for, I think we're at 11 wins now, I think.
I can't count all the win stickers on the car.
Yeah, it's borderline hitting the deck lid. So, I mean, that in and of itself, that's a successful season for us. And I think that's something that we always need to keep in mind whenever we have days like this that start off pretty tough. We've won all of these races, and we've gotten ourselves into a good position, with stage points and all that, that we're able to have nights like this. And we can still go out and battle for a championship. So it's really been a season-long thing. I'm so proud of my guys. They put in a lot of work all year. And we've we got 2 weeks left here. We're going to go out. We're going to do the best that we can. Regardless if we're at Martinsville or not, we're going to put our best foot forward. And now the entirety of our focus goes towards Phoenix and trying to nab that first championship.
All right, and the last thing I want to talk to you about before we ask you if there's anyone you want to thank, that battle with Malone and Tulloch, man. Tell us how much you were sweating through that, because it looked like you were blocking clear to the white line, to the wall, and back. I mean, tell us about that battle, man.
Yeah, it was just really frustrating, honestly. I know that I had been racing around Malone all night, and even when I got my damage fixed and whatnot, I knew I had the measure on him. But he's young and extremely aggressive, almost to a fault. So. Yeah, it's kind of just I couldn't get away from him. If I said it over the radio, but if he drove every lap like he was trying to defend from me, I'm almost positive he would have went out there and won the race. So he was putting down extreme lap times every time I was on his outside or he was on my outside, and then once he would get back in front of me, he would kind of just lose it again. So that was frustrating. I felt like we were just letting everybody else catch up with that battle, but once I passed him and Peyton kind of got brought into it, I felt like Peyton helped me out a little bit, just getting Malone off my back. And then, with Peyton, I was just giving him the outside. I knew if he got to my inside, I was done. And my car also just wasn't handling anywhere besides the bottom. The only way I was able to get around this track, that last run after the final yellow, was just to wrap the bottom. So I did all that I could. I know that he wasn't too happy with me blocking him all the way down to the white line there, but I did what I needed to do. I really just wanted to keep a podium. That was really something that I just wanted to keep a hold of, especially after all the adversity we had been through tonight. So I felt like he understood, and I think I kept giving him the outside because he had the tire offset and he also just had the clean car, and usually when you have both of those things versus, a little older tires and a beaten up car, you're able to take advantage of that. But I was surprised that I held on to it, but really good battling with him. Glad we were able to keep it clean. After the flag, that was just after the flag, so I won't worry about that too much. But yeah, overall, really, really good racing. Just thankful it kept it clean, and yeah, I was very relieved to see that checker flag.
Well, again, man, congrats on getting locked into Phoenix, and I'm sure it's going to be one heck of a fight between you and Kleba and whoever the two that join you there will be. It looks like Ronnie Norman, he's going to maximize his points tonight, so possibly the favorite going into Martinsville to make that Final Four. But who do you want to give a shout-out to for this performance here tonight before we send you on your way?
Obviously, I got to thank Flatline Motorsports, Josh Conover for letting me do this, everybody over that 24 team. We've had a stellar season, and now it's just time to go out and cap it off. So all the focus goes towards Phoenix, and it's not one of my better tracks, but we'll put in the work and try to put our best foot forward. Thank you to Pepsi for hopping on board this wonderful breast cancer awareness scheme. Glad I was able to bring it back up front where it deserves to run. Thank you to Red Bull for always being a supporter. Thanks to Exalta, Nightmare Graphics, really everybody who makes this thing go around. Thank you guys for the broadcast. It was a pleasure being up in the booth yesterday. I think I learned a lot that I was able to take into tonight. Maybe I should have taken my own advice a little bit more, but luckily I was able to fight back there. So, yeah, just thank you guys. Thanks all the fans, and we'll go out and we'll see you in Martinsville.
All right, man. Again, congrats on the run tonight, and good luck the next 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, Trevor, I believe you caught up with our winner down in Victory Lane. I think he's had a few runs in Victory Lane here, in the past few weeks. So, I'm sure you're getting kind of tired of talking to him.
It's true, and unfortunately, Dustin, Vincent took all of our airtime, and we have to go off the air. Sorry about that.
Oh, shoot. See you guys next time. Have a good night.
No, we're running out of questions to ask you, Dustin. I mean, seriously, how many times in a row is this going to be? That makes 3 NORA races in a row that you have taken here, and it's got to be feeling pretty good right now over at KPR Motorsports. I mean, this is yet another time where you've gone out there in the third and final stage and just dominated. You really didn't have any challengers there at the end. So what were you looking to do to stay clear of everybody and just stay focused?
Yeah, first off, 3 in a row is it's unheard of. I don't think I've ever swept a whole weekend in NORA, so being able to mark that off the bucket list is a huge accomplishment. I'm so grateful that we're kind of on this run. You just never know when you're going to get in a slump and when it might not come back. So it feels good to ride this high while we got it and keep rolling. But yeah, at the end, it just kind of worked out. They were having an absolute crazy dogfight, and I just was able to kind of pull away and manage the gap and just kind of go out for a cruise there. But yeah, it's trying to think. It was beginning of stage 3, I think. We kind of had to weed through some people that had 2 tires and no tires, and then once we got through there and made the green flag stops, it was just like I talked about right before the green on stage 3. It's just be smooth and do your thing and don't lose the race for you. So it just kind of came to us. So I was able to figure out how the car was reacting to the track there at the end, and it seemed like speeds were picking up there at the end too, and it was I can't say enough great things about this track. I absolutely love this track. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's the seams, the progressive banking, whatever it is. It just seems like whatever car I'm in, I'm usually able to have a good time. So I think next year we should probably just come here every week.
Well, certainly you don't need to come here every week. You have done some pretty magical stuff in both, in the NORA Cup Series. I mean, right now I was looking at the stats because we want to know how many wins that Vincent Arthur has had. And of course, in 35 races this season, actually, it's weird numbering, so I don't know if it's 35 or 36 races this season. He's done 10 wins. But with this win here tonight, you've done 8 on 19 starts. So, I mean, it's like you're like, what, a 45% win ratio here? It's pretty unheard of type numbers that you're able to set here, but nevertheless, while you know that you're going to Phoenix, it's anything but assured. So are you coming back next week for Martinsville? Are you going to do anything special heading to Phoenix? Are you going to get some extra practice in? What's the game plan And, how's it going to feel going there knowing that you're pretty much the favorite to win this championship?
Yeah, first of all, it's all great stats, but let's not talk about stats right before the championship. We'll celebrate a great season at the end of the season. But yeah, man, I haven't really decided. I'm kind of up in the air. Is it beneficial to run Martinsville when it has almost absolutely nothing to do with Phoenix, except for maybe hard braking, maybe shifting? Phoenix is kind of a short track, but not really. I don't know, it's tough. But on the other hand, you're in a groove. It's good to be competitive, just to stay in competition, just to stay in that mindset. It's too easy to just start relaxing. I felt like it's pretty obvious this season I've been kind of skipping road courses because they're not my forte, and it feels like when I come back, it takes 2 weeks to get back in the groove. So we don't have the time to have 2 weeks to get back in the groove as Phoenix is right after Martinsville. So it's a game time decision. Wish I could give you a better answer than that, but we'll see. Either way, it's going to be a heck of a battle to get those last two guys in the playoffs. Looks like Ronnie is looking pretty good, so as long as he gets a good finish, he'll probably be the third, and then that fourth spot, even if I'm not racing, I'm going to be watching because it's going to be a heck of a battle between some very talented drivers out there.
Oh, you bet. And again, it was fortunate for you that Vincent Arthur had to shield all of those drivers that were trying to challenge, including Peyton Tulloch. Just seemed like everybody wanted to have a shot to get second place there tonight, and fortunately allowed you to go out there and kind of walk away off the front. But, going into Phoenix, obviously everybody is going to be shooting for that championship. Tonight, though, being able to stay clear, who would you like to thank for your run to that top position here tonight?
Yeah, that's really the same group of people I think every single night, because I honestly wouldn't be doing this without them. Of course, Cody, a teammate, he had a up and down day today. I think if he would have had 10 more laps, he would have finished a lot better. He got wrapped up in that first yellow, and really just want to thank the guys out there on the track again. I mean, this is night 2 in a row where I've kind of had to come through a little bit of traffic, and just really this respect out there that I'm seeing it's unheard of. Like, you just pop into an official race anytime during the week, and it takes an adjustment, because I'm used to being here where if you get a spot, somebody's gonna, they're gonna race you hard, but they're not gonna chop your nose. Where official races, they're just, it's kamikaze out there. You're just dodging people being crazy. So thanks to everyone out in the field, my family watching every single week, and thanks to you guys for putting this on and just letting some 30-year-old dude play video games and video simulator, I should say, and whenever I can, and have a good time. And I can't stop, or I can't see ever stop doing this. So it's a blessing every Tuesday, every other Monday, whenever I get a chance to hop in there, and it's just have a blast every time, whether we win or lose. But gotta say, winning does make it just a little bit more fun.
You betcha. You got to be careful with that G word. It'll really piss off some of these purists in this.
Yeah, exactly. It's a simulator.
Yeah, and of course, I'm sitting here. I'm 41, so when you're ready to hang up that wheel and come join us in the booth, let us know. You've always got a spot here with us. But either way, Ken Kleba, of course, letting you know that you did a fantastic job, Dustin, and you got so many fans out there. It'll be great to watch you tackle Martinsville, and if you do or you don't, but we'll see you at Phoenix. Great job this season, and it's finally coming to a close.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks, Dustin. So that is Dustin Kleba, who's running for KPR Motorsports, doing a bang-up job, and last night he and his teammate Cody Reeder were 1-2. Tonight, he managed to carry the torch by himself to the top of the charts and take 2 NORA Cup Series victories in a row. It's kind of like seeing what Vincent Arthur was doing. And, Christian, the cream is rising to the top. This is awesome stuff. To see the race end up with Kleba, Arthur, Peyton Tulloch, who is so excited to get his first podium, and then Norman up there, Matthew George. I mean, look at all the yellow at the top of the board. It's phenomenal to see these playoff contenders rising to the challenge, and we'll see next week at Martinsville who wants to actually punch their ticket. We're going to see some crazy stuff coming up next week.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely wild, and like you said, we're doing it on a Monday night, so we get Tuesday night off so that people can take their kids trick-or-treating and go to Halloween parties and stuff like that. So I love that we're moving that and giving everyone that Halloween to enjoy before we go to the playoffs, or to the Phoenix, I mean, and yeah, Martinsville is going to be tough for a lot of people. I mean, Ronnie Norman, he's probably going to have to go into Martinsville and get pole, and try to win stage 1 and 2 in order to make sure that those guys behind him don't sneak up and pass him. Senchek might have gained a little bit of ground on Bird here. He had a few better stage finishes and finished ahead of him in the finals. So we'll have to see what the points look like starting next week and who makes it into the Final Four. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say it's going to be Kleba, Arthur, Norman, and Ryan Bird making it to the Final Four. So that's my prediction for next week. I think those 4 have been lights out all season. I think they make it happen and go to the Final Four.
Well, that all sounds great except for Cody Height, who's going to somehow magically take the victory, just like he did in Mid-Ohio. We had no idea how he managed to do that. I don't know if he knows either, but he still did manage to get that truck race in Mid-Ohio. Hey, good news is it'll be practically a full moon next Monday night, so we've got that going for us. You don't want to be anywhere else other than VirtualRacing.Network. Of course, coming up Sunday night, we go to Dover for the Icon Cup Series. They lead off our finale run of races as we get to the end of the round of 8. And then Monday night, we will be at Martinsville, like the real-life NASCAR Next Gen series is at. So this is going to be the place to be here on VirtualRacing.Network. You want to make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and like this video. Please, if you can like this video, because we'll get it out there to the rest of the YouTubosphere. Helps with impressions and all of that good stuff. Hey, if you enjoyed this, we enjoyed you being here. Thank you so much on YouTube for joining us. Everybody, you're so great. It's so great to see all of you folks every single week. Even Tyler DeTalent joining us. Let's Go Blake Hop, Steven Dombrowski, Megan Beadle, all of y'all joining us here tonight. Ken at the end, SVT88. Hey, we love y'all. We'll see you again on Sunday night for Icon and Monday night for NORA. On behalf of Christian Snyder, I'm Trevor Greenfield, and on behalf of all of the NORA Cup and Truck Series drivers and administration, we'll see you on Sunday night. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your week. So long, everybody.